All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Shadows of the Past. We are joining Heinrich as he hunts for young Jorgen, who has been um, squire snatched, ward snatched by a gargoyle, and Heinrich, upon weighing the cost benefit analysis, has decided that it probably wouldn't be good for him to just get this kid killed, even if nobody's going to miss him. So he has decided to follow the gargoyle's trail of grayish, sludgy blood. It kind of looks like pre-mixed cement. And as you follow it, you are led to a cave in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains. And as you are, outside, you have a moment to prepare. So if there's anything you want to do or get ready or, anything special, now is the
Oh,
time.
perfect. The bow is drawn, the right is on it, and I just walk in.
Oh, don't forget to take your damage.
Was not the damage already taken? Have I not been fighting with the bow when we were attacked?
Uh, I suppose I can let you say that you have had the bow drawn the entire time, but I mean, this would be, you know,
Not drawn, but held.
held,
I
so,
mean, if it's not logical, because at one point,
well,
I would have to come out of the.
a longbow is kind of a large weapon, to run around tracking with.
Yeah,
It certainly makes sense to like have it drawn if you're like hot in pursuit of something, but with the gargoyle flying and you not, like you're not in like that hot of pursuit, so a longbow would be a little awkward to have it drawn.
makes perfect
but
sense.
but I mean, I can allow it. I don't want to be punitive or anything, but
No, I think we have to establish rules and respect them, because or else we're gonna start having abuses here and there.
yeah,
You know,
I do try
yeah,
to. That's why I said right away, because it just made sense to me that you wouldn't have your rapier or your bow like just out while you're like trying to follow tracks and looking for little splatters of this blood.
yeah.
So
So now I've readied the bow.
yep,
Um, it gives me lighting,
yep,
so it denounces my position anyway.
yes,
So, like, being stealthy is useful if you can see, but if you're stealthy and you hold a torch or emit light, they'll see you anyway. So,
yeah. Well, and if you're
I'm
holding a torch, you have to drop it. If you have to drop it and you move around, it leaves openings. I've already like taken the torch away from players and thrown it into the water.
yeah,
They were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, what? These guys can see in the dark." They're like, why do I want this torch here? You humans need
yeah.
this torch? Well, too bad."
So I'll be going down slowly, but surely,
Yes, yes.
and
So
I will be careful.
yes, and so if you're going slow and careful, you can roll a perception check.
It is not undead, so normal.
Normal. All right, you know the Carpathian Mountains because as a boy you were more adventurous. As a young man, you married into wealth, and obviously the days of, ripping your pants and skinning your knees, climbing through rocks and all of that were over. But as a young boy, you would constantly be getting into trouble, and well, not trouble, but you know how
Adventurous.
yeah, you know how boys are, getting into
Yeah,
trouble. And so to watch out for the Carpathian scorpions. And as you are walking, indeed, you see one of the little bastards, you know, and they're tiny, but there it is.
All right. I watch for it, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. Um,
Well,
I'm gonna try to surprise. I'm
you've
gonna try to surprise it and rush it.
yeah, you've learned that they're quite aggressive and that the best way to deal with them is to either avoid their senses, which is only like a 15-foot radius really. You know, they're not like overly what would the word be? Alert or whatever, like they're dumb.
They're small creatures,
Yeah, they're just little tiny scorpions that like have a very narrow view of the world. So, you know, it's possible to avoid them, but in these tight corners, it might be a little bit harder. And so the
and
second
it's gonna get behind me if I don't deal with it. So I
yeah,
just want to rush it.
and the second best way to deal with them is to just try to like throw a rock or something at them. I mean, that was you as a boy. You didn't have the weapons you have now, but you could certainly shoot an arrow at them. But if you start losing arrows by not being able to recover them, then you know you might not have arrows when you need them.
Which is good to check how many arrows do I have left. Weapons.
And it'll tell you every time you shoot your bow as well.
Actually, I mean, this is a new character sheet. There's a lot of new stuff. I would have tried recuperating my arrows on every shot.
It's in the macros right here. So
In the macros.
uh, you just got to click on in bar for ammunition recovery right at the top.
Ammunition recovery. Okay. So, yeah, because usually if with a bow, I would do this every time.
How many arrows have you shot? Where are you at?
I was at 20.
Yeah.
And now it says 9, but it was
9. Okay, so
yeah, there
so
was
do
2
the
in the gargoyle,
so
and everything else was in the wolves and the undead.
do the ammunition recovery will be fair and call it 9 times. You get a chance to recover. You get a chance to recover up. Yeah, you have to click your token first. You get a chance to recover up to 9 of your arrows. So there you go.
All right, so that's actually like rules as written.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. You like that?
So, yeah, that's cool. So I would have 4 more.
Yeah. Hey, 4 is better than none.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a 50% chance to recover them after a battle. So.
Oh, okay. Per round.
But you can't recover arrows that like are broken or you know, for whatever reason we have determined that is an unrecoverable arrow. For instance, the 2 arrows that stuck into the gargoyle.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and then like another example would be if you're shooting at like an adamantium golem and like the arrows keep breaking off of it. You know, like none of those are recoverable.
Okay. Knowing that I don't want to waste arrows on a little scorpion, I can hold my bow in my left hand, therefore not have my shield, so still have the AC of 16, but take my hammer in my right hand.
Yeah, or also I can allow for you to have done the right on your rapier if you just want to have that out instead.
Yeah, it's the rapier. Well,
if you just want to have your rapier out instead, like that I don't retcon too many things, but like this is a pretty, you know, basic simple one that I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna throw a fit.
Say that I came in with my bow.
You did say that, but like let's let's be realistic here. Like, if you're going to be fighting, scorpions that are low to the ground, the rapier might be better, and you might not want to waste the arrows, like you said. So,
Oh, okay. And this survival 21 is what said you know that there's a little scorpion and you see it in what now. So then the rapier is the thing I would have held.
right.
So I sheath the bow, I hang it around me, and I take the shield and the rapier.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
you know going into the cave that there's going to be scorpions, so you already are like, nah, I'm not going to waste the arrows. I'm gonna have my rapier ready, and I'm just going to stab them.
Exactly. That's true. I didn't want to come back on my word, but it's true that with the 21
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rush and try to surprise the scorpion. Just go bam and hit.
Okay. So
And then
you
you tell me if it works.
you still have to roll initiative,
Yeah.
but if you roll higher, then yeah, you can do that.
Initiative.
Yeah, you just click on your token, and then it's the hourglass.
Yeah. So I have initiative of 4 and the scorpion 2.
And yes, but because you rolled a 1, he wins.
Okay.
So you rush in, ready to stab him, but the scorpion somehow saw you coming, and as your hand gets lower and lower to stab him, he kind of like rushes up your rapier to try and sting you on the hand.
Nothing happens.
No, you just shake him right off your rapier and you're ready to stab him. So now it's your turn. And then you stab him and he's dead.
Yeah, okay. I just thought a macro that asks me so much question. It's going to be troublesome if I have to answer those all the time. There's one about right.
Do you want me to take the rite of fire off of there?
Um, take one off and just call it right. I'll have one active at all times.
Okay.
It could be fire if I need fire. It usually would be the right of dawn.
Yeah.
If you could just call it right, yes, I have a right.
Gotcha.
Then yeah, so it will be easier. It's like one less question because one will always be yes, the other no, which depending on which right I use. Just the right is cool. So that thing is super small, right?
Tiny.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna take. I'm not gonna drop my rapier because I know I should not, but I'm gonna put my shield on my side for a moment and just take a little wrapping of something and wrap up that little scorpion. What do you call that? Mountain scorpion or just scorpion?
Yeah, Carpathian mountain scorpion.
Yeah. So I just have it because this will go into the crafting stuff eventually.
There you go. And now your longbow no longer asks you if you're dueling because you can't be dueling with your longbow.
That's logical. I was like, what? Dueling on this one too? All right. I'm just gonna test it. So rapier, this normal dueling, yes. Crimson right. Yes, there's a right. Undead, no. Submit. Okay. And then if I do this, longbow, click this, normal type, right. All right, that's cool. And when my dice, when my crimson, when my blood dice goes from 1d4 to 1d6, you can just go through all of those and upgrade the dice.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so I continue and I pay attention because I know more scorpions could happen. So I'm making an
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah, we're not gonna like spend the whole session dealing with scorpions. I just wanted to like, make it clear that they were a threat.
Yes, they are a threat. Probably that if it stung me, I want to keep my hit points for the main guy,
Yes.
the main mofo.
Yes. So as you come around here, you notice that there's two ways to go. This way leads up, and this way stays flat. So this is like a rise in
All right,
elevation right here.
I'm gonna go and take a peek here. I'm gonna take a peek here. From here, do I see the track of gray goo?
Uh, it led into this cave. It's really hard to follow in the cave now since it blends in so well with all of the rock. But you can roll a survival check to try and follow it.
At normal because it's not an undead, so 5.
Right. Yeah. As you go up there, roll perception.
So I didn't see it.
You did not notice that up here is actually like a little nest of scorpions.
Oh, scheiße.
There are 8 scorpions right here. Each of them gets initiative. It's going to be hard to come out ahead on this one.
Yeah, at level 4, I'm taking the feat Observant to have a passive perception that is higher, so I wouldn't have to roll for these things anymore.
Okay, so the scorpions in the very, very back probably didn't notice you. But these guys did. Oh, nothing doing.
Alright, so I'm going to rapier the one on my right. Did it hit?
Yes, I think it did. Hold on. No, they have 11 armor.
Cool. So I need to survive this because in the number of attacks, too many will come in. I'd rather risk 2 attack of opportunities than
Oh, for sure. Take 2 attacks now rather than like 8 attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
I'm right here. You
Yeah.
see, this is why I wanted to have money to do Ultimus Fire, because with this situation, I would never have gone into this situation. I would have just start throwing fire from afar and wait for them to just cram up.
Right.
So not having the proper equipment is just
So one of them managed to sting you. You have to make a con difficulty class 9 saving throw to avoid taking the 5 poison damage. Yeah, so you only take 2. So 3 total damage as he stings you in the leg, and you take a little bit of venom damage, but not, you know, not
not
an
poison.
yeah. And now um that has happened, I think you can just bypass these guys because they don't have a whole lot of speed. You can be like, yeah, no, I'm not even going to do it. Yeah, they only have a move of 10 feet, so.
Yeah, so they don't even follow, and if I'm
Yep,
far, I don't see it. Okay,
yep,
I don't want to face these guys
yep,
at all.
yep. You're like, nah, pass.
And I did see that my quarry is not there.
You're what?
My quarry, my focus, my target.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, you already saw that. Like, it's not like the tunnel leads on down that way and you just have to get past them. It's like, nope,
Yeah,
just walked into a nest of scorpions, gonna back the hell out of here and get on the way. Hey, this isn't where I
yeah.
parked my car.
From here, all's good.
Well, yeah, I mean, like 1 or 2 like individual scorpions. I'm not gonna make you deal with the individual scorpions any longer. Just if you run into like another nest or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I just when I see a scorpion, I just go around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Or like get the drop on it like 9 out of 10 times. So. As you are coming down this way, you hear the dripping of water down the side of the cave, and as you round the corner here, you can see water, your light glistening off the water up ahead.
All right. I'm gonna be careful and just. I mean, I'm careful. That's why I'm going slow.
Yeah,
This is probably a nest now that I recognize them.
yeah. And so the water right here, is just pooling up. Not like fast, like holy cow, you're going to drown in this cave. Just, like you can see that this is an ancient pool of water that has been
Yeah.
like slowly accumulating over hundreds of years.
I'm gonna.
Thousands.
Yeah, typical cave.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cave. So the cave twists and turns up ahead. There's like scorpions in the way that you have to like step on and all of that, but you got this.
All right.
Now you hear the sound of water once again, heavier this time.
Heavier.
And as you approach, you see a deep, dark pool of water. And on the other side, there's like a little shore. You can't tell how far back it goes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there for now. I'm gonna try the
The
land
rest
approach.
of the cave is like some kind of crystalline substance that has worn away by the water here, creating a pool of reflecting minerals that shine and glow in your light.
All right. I would like to roll alchemy since I'm proficient because you say crystalline and it could be a substance useful for crafting. That roll is in this case would be intelligence plus proficiency Um, so intelligence is 1, 2, 3. So 1d20 plus 3. I should probably make some kind of tool here. Where can I go? It's in proficiencies or extra proficiencies. Okay,
Skills, and then it's
at
got
the bottom.
custom skill,
All right, custom one
and then
is
alchemy.
yeah. So alchemy can be intelligence if I make a check, or dex. It's dex if I'm actually brewing.
Yeah.
So
Although I would say it's intelligence in both cases, really.
okay, yeah, it doesn't take that much dexterity. It's mostly
Yeah,
intelligence.
exactly. Like, trust me, I'm a baker. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's all alchemy. It's understanding how much of what to add in order to like make this happen.
All right. 19.
Actually, you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No, I did not.
Oh well, they make meth, and this meth dealer maker crackhead guy, he like is like making meth is an art, man, and he gets involved with a science teacher, and he's like, what? No, it's a science. If you do it exactly right, you will get exact pure product. That's why your product is shit and mine is the bomb. Because I do science and you think it's like an art. Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, alchemy is intelligence, is the
Cool.
point of that.
All right. So 19. I want to recuperate in vials and satchels some of that powdered or some of that crystalline kind of shell from off the walls. Just hit it on it, get a few ounces. Nothing big. I'm not gonna. But actually, this one was a check. Can I use that for anything?
Right. Yeah. No, you were doing an alchemy check in order to determine what properties or uses this could
Yeah.
potentially have.
What could I do with that?
And so the first thing that you know off the top of your head is that crystalline mineral substances are often enhancing reagents that, although they're not like the main ingredient in a potion
Barrier.
or whatever, they can often add additional effects or like okay, so like let's say you have fire rubies or some mineral like that, and they are added to one of your alchemist fires. Maybe instead of 1d4, it deals 1d6.
Okay. So I'm gonna just take the powder, and I'm not gonna start doing some prospection and mining. I've got another thing to do. But if it's quick, I'm just gonna grab a handful, put it in a little, and just take a few ounces from what is loose on the ground and what is just dropped, so I don't get complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have me very often say, "Okay, right now I don't have money to buy this shit. I need to gather it." So let me gather it. And also the crystalline thing when I want to do my goggles of dark vision, it's crystal. All right. I don't see further into this. I go to the ledge to see, does that just end? I don't know.
Can you see? You should be able
I've
to.
got
You can
I've
see.
got a
You
line.
can see what you can see.
Yeah, I've got a line here. It's
That
just I'm
so
not
that
sure
so
if it
that could be a tunnel then, huh?
yeah, it could. So, but I'm really on the freaking edge here. I want to go on this point without going to the water, and it looks like just the end of it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let it go.
Okay.
Cool. Tell me, is there anything except little random scorpions coming down here?
Nope. Just like I mean, other small creepy crawlies, millipedes, and spiders and all that.
Yeah, nothing that scared me. Okay. Right now, I don't want to get too close to that, so I'm gonna rush into this corner.
Okay.
Whoops.
As
That's a big.
you approach, you see the cave leads downward another level. You
Oh,
know from experience that the further down into a cave you go, the more dangerous it gets. It is possible that the gargoyle went this way. It is also very dangerous to go too deep into a cave alone when nobody knows that you're there because you don't know what could happen.
yeah. I'm gonna rush back here and clear it level. Like a good gamer.
Yeah, yeah.
So from here, just being careful again, checking for nests. So this is just a little drop.
That's a 10-foot drop, right?
Okay, it's at 10 foot. So as usual, I'm going to lean on the edge of that, and there's a tunnel going that way. Okay. Later on. Ooh, staircase again. Oh no,
Now
it's not a staircase.
now this stair does lead down a little ways, but you also can see the light reflecting off another one of those mineral pools.
I need to take note of this cave because that can be
Roll
a
for
one
perception.
roll for perception. You decide if it's advantage or not.
So
In this case,
as you are approaching the water, you get closer to check out the mineral water, right?
yeah.
All right. So as you're getting closer to check out the mineral water, that is when a couple of giant crabs come skittering out of the water towards you. They are encrusted with minerals all across their back, and
Oh shit, that can be cool.
you aren't sure like what effects this water has had on them.
Yeah, it could have make it harder. So basically, it's initiative.
Yep, because they are highly aggressive and hungry and attack anything that approaches their water. That's like their main survival strategy.
Yeah.
It gets right up on you and tries to claw you. It cannot claw you. You have your shield up and you deflect it.
I'm gonna slightly, one step
Yep.
left.
Stabbing into the crab, your rapier fails to like pierce its shell. It just kind of bounces off the crusted side. Indeed, it does appear as though its shell has been hardened by these mineral deposits.
End turn. They're gonna go for the flank. I should have stayed here.
Yeah. Oh, even with advantage, though, you manage to spin and block the next crab's attacks, but they're closing in on you. You know that, like, you can't do this forever.
Yeah. So, how the hell is there a way for me to get here?
Yeah, I mean, you can move. You'll take one attack of opportunity from moving out of
Yeah.
this crab's claw attack range, but yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, I'm first gonna stab him, and then I'm gonna move.
Okay.
Since I've not Not undead. But 21. That's cool.
That hits. And you deal 11 piercing damage, almost splitting the crab's shell in half.
Is it still moving?
Yeah.
Okay, it was this one.
Oh, you wanted to stab that? I thought you were going to stab the one that was about to attack you.
Okay, yeah. I could have done that also. I mean, at this point, I just wanted to hit one and move.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good idea to attack this one because if you can, yeah, no,
If I
we'll
killed it,
we'll go with
yeah.
what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Hoping that I can damage it.
Yeah,
and
no, I shouldn't be second guessing you. It's your strategy.
Then I go into the staircase where they
Oh,
can
whoa, wait. You're also going to take an attack of opportunity from him because you're going to have to squeeze past him.
All right.
You're
Go
good with
ahead.
taking 2? Okay.
I mean,
It
at
is
this point,
it is what it is. Yeah, I get it.
I don't want to be flanked, and I'm good.
The one you stab into can barely even get an attack off, but the other one almost gets you, but then you just spin and are out of its reach.
Yeah, thank you for that. End turn. So at least now I'm face forward and they cannot go into the flank position.
Yep. And so he tries to attack you. And he's so badly wounded he just can't even do it. And this one tries to pursue, but he can't get an attack in on you, so he's just over here trying to get you. Do you hear my horses running across my living room?
I hear stuff. I didn't know it was horses. What's the size of your horses?
Well, they're only one's 90 pounds and one's 120 pounds, but yeah, they're Cane Corsos.
Okay, so they're little horses for real.
They're dogs.
They're dogs. Okay, you call them horses, but they're dogs.
I call them horses because they're running across my living room making noise like they're horses.
Oh, okay.
It's a stampede.
I like dogs.
I love dogs. I used to breed Cane Corsos. Now I just have them as pets.
I said no by I'm just gonna cancel actually. Do it correctly. So roll, dueling, Crimson Right. The macro that asked me if I'm dueling on my rapier? My rapier is perma-dueling, and my longbow is not. So you can just remove the duel.
Got you. Yep.
Can you do that?
Yep.
Because it's like that dueling is always going to be on the rapier. So rapier is +2, fixed.
Yep.
I'm going to wait for you to confirm it's done. Tech always takes a bit of time to set up, but once it's set up, it does accelerate over time.
Well, yeah, and this feedback is great because then I know what I need to do on it. Yeah, it's good. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So rapier, this guy, roll normal, Crimson Right, not undead. So that was much easier. All right.
Unfortunately, that just barely does not pierce it. But because you're attacking the crab that you already cracked its shell, I'm going to say that it doesn't benefit from its crystalline. So you do stab into it, finishing that crab off.
All right. Like if I had hit the opening.
Yes.
All right. I'm done so that the other crab can go over the corpse of his friend.
Yeah. It's rough terrain, but he can just bop, 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 come here.
Yeah, it's just double,
Yeah, he's got enough movement still. Yeah.
Yeah. He just started.
But
Oh yeah.
apparently climbing over his dead friend like made him off balanced enough to where you easily just get that weak ass attack out of here. So now do you take one last attack and just get out of there, or oh no, you're like, no, this crab must die for offenses against my honor.
Well, at this point, running, if he has a speed equivalent to mine, and I see that I
Do you,
hit him
do you
more
think
often.
a crab does though? Really?
No,
You know, that's what
but
I'm saying. They're
and I've not memorized the monster manual to meta to that point.
oh my
So I'm,
god, they do? What? Ridiculous.
you see, at some point. So that's not a tiny crab. That's a giant crab,
That's a giant
and,
crab, yeah.
and it has 30 feet movement. Did you ever see a crab move in real life? The tiny one
Yeah.
is super fast.
Well, kind of, but like in short bursts, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then they stop and they look around. Okay, so end turn, and it's now a duel officially, him and me. And
The
yeah,
crab
boy,
is just off balance. He's trying to climb up the stairs over his dead friend and claw at you, and you're so nimble. You're like, come on, this is not even sparring practice anymore at this point. I'd get more of a workout against a dummy.
yeah, until he hits me. I can imagine that. Come on, this is gonna go forever. Can I do like 5 attacks and then he does 5 attacks and then
No, no, no.
go ahead, end turn. Let's do this by the book. I'm staying here. I want to keep
He
poking.
wants to eat you.
I want a Scarapace.
Ooh, that might make a bomb shield.
That's the point. Let's say I take the broken one to study and evaluate and experiment, and the second one to actually upgrade my shield to a +1.
Yeah. So now you're trying to be careful with your attack and stab him, not,
Yeah.
cracking the
Once
shield.
I prove, yeah, exactly. Once I'm seeing that, I want to upgrade. I want to try to upgrade my own shielding. End turn.
So, as you
I still
stab
got 14
as you
points.
stab hard into the crab's face, you drive your rapier deep in. It claws at you one last futile time that you easily deflect with your shield, and you laugh, or well, I shouldn't say what you do. You might laugh, but as the crab just kind of flops down and looks like a displayed crab dinner crab.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take care of the crab for dinner, um, but I do want to just use a dagger. I want to hold my rapier because I cannot spend the last. Or worst case scenario, I come back here and I'll pick up the shells afterwards. Right now, I have a priority, which is trying to save my henchman. Even
Right.
though I'm sure I won't use them anymore, I'm just gonna look in this little corner carefully. Nothing, I guess.
Nothing major, just like the remains. Like the crabs are very picky about their homes, so all the discard is pushed into that corner, so it's like really nasty.
All right, okay. I wouldn't want scorpions to come and take this, but scratching off the surface would take time. It would not be a 1 minute job. It would be a long job. So I have no
Correct.
choice. I have no choice then to leave the carcasses here
Right.
because I've got to focus. But I know these crabs. I want to come back later, so I'm just gonna come up.
Yep.
Oh fucking a! I'm gonna try to stealth. Although I have light, I'm gonna try to stealth run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna hug the wall,
Yeah.
and you tell me if I need to roll something or not.
Okay. Now, uh, you see another one of those raises in elevation. It's about 10 feet up to this ledge here.
All right. And that's it. Oh, there's a little tunnel. From here, do I see anything?
You see a tunnel so small and narrow that you'd have to squeeze to get through it.
I'm not gonna squeeze to get through it, and I don't think the gargoyle was of the size to squeeze through that either, right?
It, you wouldn't think so, but I mean, you don't know. Like,
And not carrying an extra organ in its paw.
right.
Okay, I'm gonna hug the wall again and scoot here. Shit, man, this stuff is there's too much, and now I have to go right by it. All right, so I do the same thing. I hug the wall.
Yep. And as you do so, roll for perception.
Perception normal. Yeah, that's wrong.
So you fail to notice that right in that corner was a scorpion just kind of sitting there, and so now we need to roll for initiative to see if you ran into him or if
I have 4 initiative. That's absolutely fantastic. So he tries me.
yep. So he tries to rush up to you and sting you. And fails.
I will stomp him.
Yep. And that is a dead scorpion.
All right.
And I only did that because like it surprised you basically.
Yeah. This is gonna scoop it up from the ground. Put
Yep.
it in the same pouch as the other.
Yep. And as you come around this corner, seeing another one of these mineral pools, you also see that in this corner there is 3 scorpions. So you'd have to either hug the wall, the water, or take your chances that the scorpions notice you.
From here, I'm going to. Yeah, I imagine that hugging the water you'd have me do acrobatic or athletic. Well, probably acrobatic in this
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
Is it better to try to kill those 3 scorpions or to take a chance to fall in the water?
That's your
Hey, what the heck?
that's your call.
I'm a Dex guy, so acrobatic.
Oh, you gracefully run along the edge of the cliff, avoiding the
I'm
scorpions.
I'm gonna have a new skill called parkour.
Yeah.
All right. So up here, it's just pools of water.
As you're looking, you see over here and hear Jorgen crying and the gargoyle holding on to it him and um I guess
Okay, like in this corner.
yeah, I guess like the correct description would be like a cat, like how they like hold their prey.
Yeah. All right. I just hope I don't have to cross water. I will accelerate the pace here, 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 nothing. No choice. I have, because he flew over the freaking water and I would have to squish down that little hole. I'm gonna take a 10-foot running to do the jump as far as possible in the water, as per the athletic rule. So 10 foot an advance and jump, and then see how far I can jump. So, I don't even know if the water is deep. And if the water is deep, I can't swim with a shield in the hand, so I have to hook it up in my back to have a free hand. So I've done that. Now, what's the roll again for jumping? I have to roll
Athletics.
athletics,
Yep.
and the results tells me,
How
well,
far?
I crit,
Nice. Yeah, so
so I get
you got a 20. So, yeah.
I can actually almost jump on the ledge here. Flop.
Yep. And as you do so, the gargoyle throws Jorgen uh
Is it healed already?
no, he got a short rest though, so he got some wounds back. Actually, you know what? No. As you go to jump, the gargoyle flies out over the water with Jorgen. So now he's up in the air about 10 feet with Jorgen just hovering there. And we'll roll for initiative.
All right. I'm gonna have a biological break
Yep.
for 1 minute.
Yep.
Are you still here?
Yes, I am.
All right. The gargoyle acts afterwards, although in the turn order as before. Is that it?
No, I'm going to start it. I was just
Cool.
waiting for you.
Cool. The complexity of the action I'm going to do probably will bust both my bonus action and my main action. Because I'm going to snap my rapier on my left forearm, which is typical for me, to open up a little trace of blood. I will hook my rapier in its sash and my shield in its hook to draw the bow and use that blood that I just wounded myself a bit to apply the right on the bow. So I'm pretty sure that that would be more than a bonus action.
Yeah.
Because it's a bonus action to just apply the right. So I'm going to roll. So I imagine it's like it's everything.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment of that as well.
Yeah. Like it would be 2 bonus actions. There's going to be bonus action and full action. And I'm ready to shoot. And I'm done.
The gargoyle releases Jorgen with one hand, and now he's just dangling there with the other, and he just kind of like uh, uses his three fingers to like give you his middle finger. He's like, what are you gonna do? He can't talk to you, but he's like, go ahead, shoot me. You'll either hit Jorgen or I'll drop Jorgen, or so he uses his turn to basically try to intimidate you.
Cool. And around. Unintimidated. Bam! 10 damage.
You do indeed deal 10 damage to the gargoyle. However, as promised, he drops Jorgen into the water. It is only then that you realize why he was so cocky about it.
I moved the sand. So there's something in the water?
There is something in the water.
Wow. Oh. Is that right to assume that this is less deep?
Yes.
All right. So we could just walk around next time.
In fact, you can see where it's light, it's shallow. Where it's dark, it's deep.
Yeah, okay. Having realized that, I would have just went on the edge and do a small jump.
Yeah. All right. So now there's a crocodile in the water that is swimming towards Jorgen. And the gargoyle just like laughs in gargoyle.
Yeah, it gargles and gargoyle. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're gonna meet my character. And I'm done. The gargoyle took 6 more damage.
6 more damage. The crocodile swims towards Jorgen slowly. Dun-dun. He's trying to sneak up on the prey. The gargoyle dive bombs you.
My AC is currently 16.
Missing. He moves back out over the water. That would normally provoke an attack of opportunity, but you have a bow in your hands.
Sorry. Yeah, I got a bow in my hand.
It's all right.
Boom, shakalaka boom. I'm not gonna be confused about this. This thing still is threatening. 6 more. Oh yeah. Click. Jorgen, move. I mean, you've not played Jorgen.
Da-da.
Maybe you would have moved to the shore or something.
Jorgen is floating lifelessly in the water. You don't know what's going on.
All right.
He could be unconscious. He could already be dead.
All right. That's the good answer. I don't know what's going on. Flyby. It hits 3 points. I
Yeah,
was lucky
three
with the damage.
points.
I was lucky. I mean, he's taking distance, and I cannot fight with another weapon than that while he's over the water. So that's the only option I see right now.
And he knows it.
All right. So
Gargoyles are dicks. Man, you just can't miss.
well, it looks good. It's just good rolls. But 11 damage?
Yes, sir. Is that your turn?
Ah, shit. Every system is different. I mean, Roll20 is Roll20, but every DM has a different system, a
Yeah.
different thing.
Yep. So
I
now
just forget.
now the crocodile is in position and will attack Jorgen on its next turn.
Come for me. Come for me. Come on. Take me out before I do. Yeah, take 4. This is hurting bad. Well, does 14 hit?
14 damage. You hit the gargoyle. This time, it doesn't pierce something like its arm or leg or tear through a membrane in the wing. This time, you hit it right in the throat. It begins to twist and turn in the air as it spasms and falls into the water, presenting a much larger and tastier meal for the crocodile who has been taunted by this gargoyle for a long time. As the gargoyle flops in the water and spasms like a dying animal, the crocodile swims over and swallows him up and disappears beneath the water.
And this is where Mage Hand is useful. So I'm going to quickly go to where it's shallow and stretch my hand to try to grab the leg of Jorgen. Does it work?
No, he's too far out.
I mean, the crocodile is currently chewing, so I'm using this opportunity to go and swim in.
Yep. You swim
Grab
in
him.
and grab him.
Yeah, and then go back to shore.
Okay.
Is he lifeless?
Well, like
Okay, right now I'm going to put him on the ground.
as an adjective, lifeless is accurate. As a like official statement of like mortality, you don't know.
All right. So he's on the shore with me. What does it look like?
He looks like he's dead, but like you don't know. You would have to make a medicine check in order to tell.
All right, I'm going to take the time to do a medicine check. So I have no idea.
Yeah, you can't tell. Like he's not really breathing, and he's pale and his lips are blue.
All right, I'm going to carry him. I'm going to. He's small. He's a kid, so I can have a torch in a hand. I'm gonna sheet everything. Um, Use a torch for fire. You can just leave my
I'm
token.
just gonna leave the token, like, yeah.
Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to where the crabs were here. So I can't really. I can do this. Now you tell me if it's legal or not. If there was nothing to roll or if it works. Now that I've seen everything where the scorpions were, I was careful. Do you accept it or not?
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. No, I already moved you guys there, cause yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I don't do stuff like that unless it's like specifically part of the encounter where it's like you just fought a boss and now the lair is crumbling behind him or some shit like that, you know?
Okay, so I know the layer, I know the layout. So I set it up in a corner with his equipment and my equipment that I probably took, when I left our little hammock. And I'll just wrap him out, and hopefully that he heats up over time.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna be like in the corner here, just to be, in this in the.
So just to be clear, as you are doing this, you notice that he's still not breathing. You know, like he might have swallowed water or something, but you know that if you can't get him breathing, this is a done deal. So now,
All right, okay. I thought a medicine check was like I can't do anything and it's
no,
over.
the medicine check was to tell like whether he was already dead or not. You know, but
Okay, well, would I know the basic reanimation technique that any warrior knows? It's like pump his heart, blow in his mouth, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody knows that kind of stuff, but like everybody basically knows that you can like slam someone on the back really hard or like shock them back, you know.
Yeah, I take
So,
him from the back and hook their plexus.
yeah, just
Right. Let's say, okay, I thought the medicine check is you can't do anything. So before we came here, right when I put him on a shore, I tried to reanimate him.
yeah, so you can't tell if he's alive or not, but he's not breathing and you know you got to do something. So
All
now you
right. So I
now
pump
you
his
make
lungs and I.
another medicine check. This time it's for whether or not you can revive him.
All right.
Luckily, you rolled much better this time. So even though you couldn't tell whether he was alive or not, you managed to get him to take a breath, a very shallow one. He is
All
barely
right.
breathing. He is still
All
very
right.
much in a state of dying, but like for now, this is the best you can do. It's not going to
We
be a.
call that stabilized, I guess.
We'll call it stable but critical.
We're ages from anything civilized. There's no point in running, and this is part of my character. Like, if I don't see any option, I'm not going to panic and run. I wrapped him up. I gave him everything that was as warm as possible. He'll have to do his own constitution saves, while I'll take a moment to strap up the two carapaces of these guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. So
Okay.
basically, I'll take the time to just extract them. Use a dagger that I use for functionality, anything. Um, I do have proficiency in tinkering and alchemy, so that I can just I can use the tools correctly. Just any cook, anyone
Getting
who knows
the
how to cook.
yeah, getting the top shell off of the crabs is not impossible.
Yeah, so I'll
It's
work on it.
tedious. It's tedious, and it takes a bit of strength and getting in there, but you get it.
It takes time. So I'm just gonna say. Two crystalline carapace of a giant crab. That would take some time. I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's not an instant thing.
Probably an hour.
All right, so it's an hour. Um, what does Jurgen look like?
He looks half dead.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all right, I stuff this stuff. It's probably heavy, so I can't carry. I can't pretend to carry even more stuff. That's enough. I want to get out of here. I want to get through the forest. I will rest back home. I'm not going to this mine. I need to bring Jorgen back home, and all the material that I've got will be more useful to me than a mission too far away that I cannot get my henchmen to come with me. I think his life matters more to me than trying to get to a mine where we'll have another encounter while he's out dying. It's too much. I'm going back home. I needed to be educated in the realities of this world. My character would have known, but that's how
you cannot carry the carapaces and Jorgen.
Okay, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm gonna drop. Check this out. I'm gonna drop one carapace, so I'm just gonna have one.
Uh-huh.
And I need to load my character in D&D Beyond to see all the shit that I could just drop. Because what I'll do now is I will drop what I can just purchase easily. The bedroll, mess kit.
Bedroll? You don't ever want to drop your bedroll.
Well, the bedroll is 7 pounds.
It's also like the most important piece of equipment you have.
Yeah, but it's easy to buy one. I'm intending to walk home the entire day. Get a point of exhaustion, sleep for 2 days, but be safe. Because if I have to choose, these carapaces are so interesting that I want to carry them, but I cannot carry all my shits. I would drop anything else, but it's true. I don't have much. I don't want to drop my tinker's tools because they're essential to my work, my life. So basically, I have to choose between Jorgen and the carapace.
Yep.
Too bad. It is what it is. I will drop the other carapace.
Oh, I was really wondering if you were gonna go the other way on that one. All right, yeah, you dropped the carapace. I know. You came here to get Jorgen, but like, yeah.
Do you understand what I would do is that since I need to take time, I'll take another hour to scrape up more that's crystalline stuff from the carapace.
Yeah, you've got time here. You can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I will study it for 1 hour. So I have 2 carapaces, so I'll study it and I'll tinker and I'll think as an alchemist how I could just get some crystalline powder and rock.
Yeah,
because I cannot carry the 2 carapaces.
What I want you to do is make an alchemist roll again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The others were like studying, etc. This is going to be like applied. Like, how could I apply this now?
Yeah. Even if probably will take much more time.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to do that now. It's just like...
I'm studying it, and studying takes time. And meaning I might have it at advantage. I'm trying to negotiate with a DM here. But anyway, I roll a 10.
Yeah, so you can't think of too much that is going to speed up the process, but you realize that if these crabs were able to harden their shells with the mineral, that surely you could use a similar process to harden your shield as well. And so it's just a matter of figuring out how to use the minerals to harden your shield.
The same way that they did. Let it soak in it for a few days.
Right.
And put some alchemical reagents.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to scrape off a lot of this material, but I will not have the carapaces themselves.
Yep.
I'm going to take, I'm going to fill
Yeah,
like
because
two.
the shells, unfortunately, are like 100 pounds each, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to
they're
take 10
big.
pounds of rock in my pack.
Yep.
Crystals from the crab shell.
Yeah.
And then probably I'll, as an alchemist, I'll regrind them with a mortar peacefully, patiently, take time.
Oh, yeah. You can do all
A
kinds of
shield plus
stuff with
one, I
them.
think it takes 2 weeks to make or something like that.
Yeah.
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 So
You'll have all kinds of time to do all kinds of stuff with them once you get back home.
yeah, so from here, I'm gonna start working back home. No, actually, I'm gonna take another hour to have a short rest myself in here with
Okay.
Jorgen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jorgen, unfortunately, can't benefit from a short rest. Like he is so ill that he just needs full
yeah,
rest for long enough to recover.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just need to roll my dice, and I'm
Yeah.
checking on where.
You can go ahead and take the short rest. I'm just letting you know that like
Yeah,
Jorgen won't be benefiting from any
I'm
of it.
trying to find where the hell is this short rest.
So if you click on your token, you'll see spend hit dice,
Oh
and
yeah, spend hit dice.
that'll let you just do that real quickly. Boom, there you
Yeah,
go.
so 7.
Yep.
So I have to put it manually.
And you have to eat a ration, so reduce
All right.
your rations by 1.
So in inventory, I did not put everything that is in D&D Beyond. I will do this progressively.
Sure.
I'll
It's
eventually
okay.
have everything in this specific sheet.
No, it's okay.
All right. So one more ration. And I had eaten one also, and Jorgen also, that I forgot to remove. So 3
Yeah, there
in
you go.
the short rest we had earlier. Okay. After the short rest, I think it's enough. We are currently lit by torch. And I'm going the other way around. Oh yeah, and then we're attacked by a dinosaur. It's either DM humor or you have perceived beyond me that I want to reroll character. Although
Us DMs
the
go a
blood
little
hunter
mad
itself,
sometimes,
the blood hunter is the worst character to do a solo game. Someone who does a solo game who wants to survive would be a bard or a ranger or a cleric, someone who can cast healing on himself, for
Cleric,
example.
druid.
Where a hunter has to hurt himself and lose life in the process of his journey,
Druid, you get your full hit points every time you wild shape.
Druid, you go back. You don't regenerate your hit point when you come back. You're at where you were when you wild shape.
Right, but if you wild shape again, then you're back to full.
Yeah, that's the point. The wild shape, it does that. It gives you
full
it's very
HP
good.
every time you wild shape. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just wild shape, fight, drop out, wild shape again.
Yeah.
And at level 20, a druid can free action drop a wild shape, bonus action re-wild shape. So and he does that at level 20 as a mammoth. It can take up to 130 something point of damage. Next round, it will drop the shape, redo it, then attack full, and just constantly be eternal life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then even if they drop, if you've got a cleric or somebody with spare the dying, then boom, instant stabilization.
Yeah, just give him 1 hit point.
Yep.
And he's back in the roll.
Yeah.
So the blood hunter is the worst. So that's why using the skills, crafting things, crafting objects, building a guild, hiring people, this will be how I can make it. But this is more challenging, taking a character that is closer to a normal human with just this little tad of fantasy, than like metagaming. I'm going to be soloing, so I need to be able to heal myself or disappear.
Right.
No, this guy has no spell. I might multi-class one day, but right now I'm thinking about going, blood.
Well, even if you went with one level of warlock, you could get, some healing spells.
Yeah, if I take the divine, yeah. In
So,
any case, yeah, and my warlock level, my charisma is 8. So whatever I would do as a warlock that needs charisma would be shit.
yeah, but
So
at least you have that access to the healing spell.
yeah, exactly. I
Plus,
could
you get
have
your
that
your
heal per
warlock
day.
slots back every short rest.
That's true. Um, all right. So now what I want to do is go back home. You tell me how hard it is, the hardship about it.
Yeah.
Even if I
Okay.
get
So
exhausted, I'm not stopping. I'm just
yeah.
going home.
So like first of all, uh, when we say home, exactly, where do you want to head?
The place where I've rented for 10 gold a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a place that I can call home. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
workshop.
Yeah, it's
Until I
not
rent,
it's not home, but it's home.
I mean, I've got nothing else. Right now, I've been thrown on the street and I've got nothing else.
I
So,
I have literally nothing else. Don't take this from me too.
yeah.
She took
Um,
my dog.
he took my dog. All right. So, in this case, no, that was not that map. It was in the slums.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I imagine you run a lot of games, so it's normal to not track everything in your mind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot it was in the slums. Well, yeah, I'm now. I haven't started the ninth, but I'm up to 9 a week now.
Yeah, it's a nice way to earn a living, I would say.
I I wouldn't say a living per se, because I don't think that just this alone would cut it, But it's definitely better than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I see nothing. I see a huge black square.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I remember which one you rented here.
Top. What in the top? You can actually use text to write home
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. No, I'm gonna change the name of it as soon as I figure it out.
Well, if you allow me to see the map by dragging my icon, I will ping it. Can you show me the entire map, like if it was day?
Uh, yeah, that takes a second though.
Well, if we want to be consistent,
Yeah, hold on. Let me just do this. Okay, so you should be able to see everything now. I mean, it's still got all the lines up, so. And I'm gonna check this other one because I think it might be this one.
yeah, that's the thing. This is not the same map that I saw before, but I do appreciate this place. There was a bed on the one. I mean, it's whatever you want, but the I thought it was quite expensive, 10 gold for the little shit box that he gave me, but it was not in this map. That was not the same map.
Got it.
So if we want to be honest, uh, switch to the first map. Well, the not the first. You probably have another slum.
Yep, yep. I am double checking right now. I will find it, rest assured. Basically, I'll know which one it is as soon as I find the one that already has you on it. Yep, there it is. My apologies. I forgot which slum hole I put you in.
Yeah. And I imagine the two guys are not at my door.
Yeah.
I know there was another one on the side, identical or close. Um, if you allow me to see the entire map, I would tell you my objective eventually, what I want to try
Sure.
to do.
Sure. Give me just 1 second. Where's the one for sick, diseased? We'll just put this one. Yeah. So he's diseased and dying. He caught gargoyle fever. It says that it already is in daylight mode and that you should be. Oh, you mean you just want to be able to see all of the buildings at once? Like take off the dynamic lighting?
Yeah, if you could, because I would,
Sure,
if
sure.
I asked Mr. Gunderson, what was the guy McGulch, the owner of the slums,
Yeah,
um,
McGulch.
yeah, Mr. McGulch, to present me the various places, and I'm renting one room. Um, so yeah, so he owns
Can you see
he
it
owns
now?
yeah, he owns everything, I guess.
Yeah, like he controls everything.
All right. So, and he gave me a price of 500 gold for this little sector. That's still quite expensive just for a little room
Yeah,
for shitbox.
yeah,
But that's what it is.
yeah. Land is valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would probably have this and this, but then just the way they say, you're not gonna try to do Alchemist Fire and stuff. Like, okay, the guy is gonna put his nose in my business. I need a place to rest and tinker, so this one was good.
Yeah.
But after that, I might try to find myself a cave or something outside. Um, if I ever have money, I might try to build myself something hidden.
Are you trying to build a lair?
Yeah, like even
Are
in the
you a
cave that you just
supervillain?
sent me. What?
Are you a supervillain?
I am going to build a lair, and I'm going to be a supervillain.
Okay.
Villain is always in function of who feels tracked.
Oh, of course.
A vampire would tell me he's a supervillain.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I'm thinking about it. Like, if I could have this entire area, all of this, rent something bigger and have people, but that's in the city and people would talk.
Wait until
Now
you
that I
find out
see
how
it,
much it is for a tombstone.
a tombstone. What do you mean?
Yeah, like a tombstone. If you have to buy a tombstone and a burial plot.
Oh yeah, that's expensive too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super expensive. But what are you gonna do? Just like leave them out on the street?
Well, right now I've got this little place. I've got at least 3 months paid, so I can tinker and work and do my own things with the little money I have. Okay.
That's
So
true.
yeah, instead of going out right now, I could spend time to upgrade my equipment. And instead of upgrading my shield, I would like to upgrade my breastplate.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do about Jorgen?
I have no idea what to do about Jorgen.
You're gonna
So
have
is
to
there
seek
okay?
out some medical advice.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. That was the next step. Okay. Took a long rest. I arrive home. I'm exhausted. Everyone's exhausted. We have to rest. That's
Oh,
the first.
of course. And
Yeah,
I assumed that you were coming back here, taking a long rest, waking up and seeing that Jorgen was still, like
yeah.
he
That was the goal.
it's
Yeah.
like zombie Jorgen.
Okay. So now that he's there, I will go by the market and purchase a few rations. You had told me the price of ration. I forgot. I think it's a silver or something like that.
Right. It's 1 silver piece per ration.
All right. So I'm gonna buy 10 more just so I can have him. And the rations will now be kept on this since I do it. Rations. I had 12 left, so I'm back to 22. I took one myself uh, today, so I'll say 21. Yeah, and rations, since I'm going to track them, I'm going to put them as the first item on my sheet.
Yeah, and if you do that, I'll build you a macro that'll just ask you, like, how many rations to add or subtract.
It's kind of easy on the sheet, just click, click. Because a macro sometimes does not apply to everything, and then it's not universal because, okay, I'm going to take a rest. Do I need a ration? In this case, Jorgen doesn't need one. So maybe a macro is going to be not useful enough, I think. I'm just saying it like that.
Yeah, well, I think if I make everybody put rations as the first item on their sheet, I can just build it into the long and short rest macro that it all automatically reduces 1 ration.
Okay.
Because I already have a macro for long and short rests.
Oh, okay. Good. Then perfect. So when we click long rest or short rest, it does that.
It refills all of your powers, all of your hit points, all of your hit dice. Like everything that you should be getting back, you get back.
All right. Now, what I want is what is not essential, I will not carry with me. I leave here in the stash. And I want to get some professional help. So I will go to, I'll knock on the door of the owner, Mr. McGunderson or McGulsh, wherever both of them always hang out, which is here. So I don't even see where the door is, but
No,
probably.
that's I just moved them there because you couldn't see them at the time. It was just
Oh, okay.
a short distance to move them so that you couldn't see them.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm out on the street. I'm looking for one of them. The mayor's there.
Yeah, he's usually out and about early.
All right, so out and about early, I'm out and say, hey, I need to consult a medicine man. Where can I find one?
A what now?
A medicine man, a healer, a doctor. I don't know.
The
I
barber,
would
the
know.
barber. Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
What did you say? Barber?
Barber.
The one who cuts hair?
No, no. I mean that too, but like, yeah, no, it's called a barber. Trust me.
All right. So I would know. My character would know how we call a medicine man in this world. I imagine
Yeah,
if he
yeah.
lived there. So
Yeah,
it's a
no, no.
barber.
I was just giving you a little razzmatazz. All
All
right.
right. Cool.
So, yeah, I think the barber lives here. Yeah, this is
All
like
right. So let's.
probably the waiting room, and then there's like a little side lobby with the fire so that the waiting room stays warm. And then
Oh,
this
so
this would be
since
where
it's
this
easy,
would be where he operates.
cool. So I'm gonna go get Jorgen, take him with me, and I'm gonna go and knock and help myself.
Yeah, so this is going to be a temporary representation for the barber because I wasn't sure exactly where everything would be going here, but rest
Or
assured that the barber shall have his own, unique personality, etc. Later. But for now, you know,
Yeah, that's a typical guy. The guy with the cone, which does operations and stuff.
yeah. He comes out and he's like, "Ah, what can I do for you?"
I show him Jorgen, and I say we were out in the wilds and we got attacked by a huge bird made of rock. I think it was a gargoyle, and he bit little Jorgen, and he's been sick ever since.
How long's he been like this?
Since a day and a half.
A day and a half, huh? All right, all right. Well, come around and bring him right back here. And then he lays him down on here, and he's like, "All right." And he starts like reaching for some medieval-looking tools, like, you know, looks like a corkscrew, and one looks like something you'd like crack a nut open with, and just like some really, really medieval stuff.
Yeah, crude.
Yeah, it got some leeches, got just all kinds of like weird like powders and ointments and other things like that. So he's just reaching for all of this stuff and just poking and prodding at Jurgen, and then he reaches for like a medieval looking knife, and he goes to cut in to Jorgen on the shoulder where one of the wounds are.
I interestingly observe everything he does because I'm curious at the scientific level.
All right, so
And I ask him if he needs help to hold him or whatever.
he says, "No, grab that lantern and hold it a little closer."
All right, grab the lantern, hold it closer.
Yeah, and you can watch and see when he cuts open the wound, a lot of like blackish blood comes out before it starts to turn red again, and there's a whole lot of like hardened gray scale around the infected part.
Cool. I go there. I hold the lantern, but I say, hey, can you give me a sec? I need to grab this. And I put the lantern down, and I will use my alchemy kit to recuperate the gargle blood and the whatever is not natural. I will want to study it.
Yeah.
So gargoyle infection stuff.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Yeah, gargle pus.
Yeah, gargoyle pus. There you go.
3 ounces, I'll say.
Yeah, why
whatever.
beat around the bush? Just call it what it is.
Yeah. So it is what it is, and I recuperate that. I say, thank you, sir. I hope you understand. You're a medicine man, so you probably know a bit about herborism, alchemy, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah. Maybe we can go dig up some bodies together later.
Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting. I want to recuperate that substance to see if I can study it and make something with it.
Yeah, let me know what you find.
You know, this is a very good deal, Mr. Barber. And I imagine you'll tell me your name once you have decided one.
So the barber continues what he's doing, and then after he finishes, he takes some really foul smelling red liquid, and he dumps it right all over the wound, and it like sizzles and smokes, and the young boy Jorgen screams in pain. It's the first time he's been semi-conscious in like a day and a half. And like this just wakes him right up, and he's screaming in pain and screaming in pain until he just passes out from the pain.
All right. So he just showed signs of life, so I hope he'll survive. Can you invent a name for the barber since you're going to do that eventually?
Can I do what?
Invent a name for the barber instead of calling him Barber. He probably has a name.
Yeah, he probably does have a name.
I think I'm gonna I'm gonna go see this guy once in a while and see if he's interested in the kind of shit that I do, dark arts and alchemy and shit. You consulting your random name generator now?
No, I already gave him a name.
Which is? I asked him.
Oh, you can't see it? There you go.
Nope.
Now you can.
Ah, Simple Roberts.
No, no, no. You should know this one. That's Robert's. That is Robert's. Dr. Robert's.
Dr. Roberts. The medicine man. The barber medicine man. Okay. Well, Dr. Roberts, I am not rich. How can I repay you and how much is it? And I will tell you the result of my research.
It's 25 gold pieces to, do what I just did with the boy and bandage him up here, and then you can take him home and I'll rebandage it once a day.
All right. 25. Wow. Let's do this. Here you go, kind sir.
Thank you.
All right. I'll inform you of what I find with the study of the pus.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Now get the hell out of my office.
Yeah, bring Jorgen back. Okay. Jorgen being stabilized, and the doctor promised to come back.
Yeah. So now Jorgen gets to make a save versus the disease. Before he was just going to turn to stone and that was going to be it.
And I was not going to tell anyone and use his corpse as crafting material because, I could. But
because I could.
Yeah, because I could. But now that he's not dead, let's see. Ah, shit.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Yeah, he crits fell.
Yeah, so basically what happens is although he appears to have been getting a little bit better stabilizing after the Dr. Roberts had tended to him, it appears as though suddenly he's having some kind of reaction and his left arm starts to turn to stone. His entire left shoulder is just like stony, bumpy skin.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything about that. I'm just going to tough it out. I imagine he has to stay like once a day or something like that.
Yeah. Do you want to just get that process over with and go to the next day?
I'm kind of worried because I cared for the boy, but that's not my life mission.
No, I get it. And you don't have to show this. This is not like a telltale game where it forces you to have certain interactions with NPCs and all that. You can just throw Jorgen out on the street and
let him die. Yeah, I could, but I won't.
I know. I'm just saying that at no point is it mandatory that you do anything. So,
I could have saved that 25 gold and not give a shit about it.
No, I know, but I just want to reiterate that you are not attached to Jorgen. It is not live or die, fail or pass, based on what you do with him.
All right. I'm gonna make a research in the D&D rules here for magic items, just to see. No, It's in the normal items. I want to see, just to respect the rules, if I want to do give hardness to my breastplate. Is it something that you want to follow the rules as written for what a magical item would be, or you're gonna invent stuff as I do stuff and let's see what happens?
Well, if there is rules as written for what you're trying to do, I'd rather use those. But like a lot of times, I find that like I or the players or whatever have like an idea of something that we'd like to do that is not covered in the rules as written. In which case,
All right.
we just do our best to make it as close to something that is in the rules as possible.
If there is rules as written, then let's do this. Let me check what is the actual time table and amount of difficulty to make a magical breastplate. So a breastplate +1 is a blue item. Xanatar's Guide to Everything has a chart, because the crafting chart of the original guide, the DM's guide, made it impossible for people to craft. So that's
Right.
why Xanatar's Guide is a few years later. They didn't say it in the book itself, like, hey, for every time we messed up in the original rules, here's a erratum.
Yeah.
You should use that. They just
Yeah.
say, oh, that's an addendum if you want to use it. But actually, it just means, like, this is how it works.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So a rare item would require the equivalent of a CR9 encounter. What a CR9 encounter is, it's not a CR9 creature. It's the total of CRs of what I've encountered, meaning the amount of difficulty that I had to face to obtain such things. I think I might be close to CR9 encounter in the sense of everything I faced in order to recuperate the knowledge, the amount of the scorpions, the zombies, the wolves, all of it, that makes a CR encounter. And I need to have faced CR9 total in order to gather material to make a blue item, a rare item.
A blue item.
Yeah, I just called the name because I played Diablo and what name, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
called color by habit. Okay, so
Yeah, no, me too. Totally.
yeah,
The Gargoyle is challenge rating 2 all by itself.
okay, so that's a 2. Then you add the other things. Then it's a question. Okay, so there's 2 things. The first mistake that any crafter or DM do is they look at just the table without reading rules.
Crocodile
They say,
is 1/2.
okay, let's calculate this since you're doing this. So 2 plus 0.5. The zombies, there were 3 of them, and they're 1/4. Plus
Correct.
0.75. The wolves, there were 4, and they're 4, plus 1.
Yep. And then you faced the Gargoyle twice. So you get an additional +2 on that.
Yeah, so I'm at, I don't know why it doesn't want, but I'm at 6 plus 2, 6.25 right now. Then there was a few scorpions that are probably 1/8 or some shit like that.
I think there's 0, which is still worth 10 XP technically, but we don't worry about that. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. When a magician, a wizard, wants to do a potion of invisibility, it is blue or purple, and they take pixie powders. So basically, they capture pixies. They need to capture 36 pixies in order to grind the amount of powder required for one potion. Okay, so that's how it says. So when they say you need a certain CR, it's not one creature CR9, and that's how they explain it. Like a wizard would just gather a lot of little components here and there, and invest that in their That's just an example. So I'm at 6.25. I've not reached 9, and that's how it is. So I'm at 6.25 right now, unless I face something else. But it was
Wait, we're
challenging.
forgetting the crabs.
Oh yeah, the crabs. How much are they?
Checking. One-eighth each.
These mofo's were 1/8, even though they had the hardened carapace. All right.
Oh, right. No, I homebrewed them, right. So, up that to 1/2 each.
All right. So +1. I'm at 7.25. That's cool. That's cool. All right. There's 2 requirements. For the minimal is a CR encounter of 9. And the other thing, if we look at the chart, it says 10 weeks of work, 2,000 gold piece. So the DM, first thing he says is, okay, you need to invest 2,000 gold in that. That is not what the text says. The text says it needs 2,000 gold worth of material. If you have the material, then you don't need to pay the 2,000 gold. It's $2,000 worth of material.
Right.
And the material is like that powder that would be extremely valuable if anyone knew that it has the hardening property that gives a breastplate.
Plus your existing breastplate and potentially some additional regions which might have to be purchased with some money.
Yeah, exactly. So it would not cost 2,000 gold of material.
No.
They say
at
like
most for what we're talking about right here, I'd say 25 to 50% would be the most I would have it cost you.
Yeah. So right now, there's no way according to the
50
rules,
would be pretty high. That would only be if it's like you're trying to like greatly upgrade something. I think 25 is better. So like 500 gold pieces worth of additional materials required to like accomplish what you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I've read a lot of the forums, and they all agree with what you say. It's like, for this kind of thing, you've got this from the street, you got that from that combat, you got zombie brains and hearts and stuff, and you still need to go buy extra leather, some clamps, a bit of glue coating. You need other stuff. So even for a little trinket, they would say, yeah, well, go buy another 10 gold piece of crafting material, scrapbooking material at least. So it's always like that. But the rule says it's $2,000 gold worth of material that you can actually find in your quest. That's part of it. Yeah. So that's how crafting works now, and I appreciate that we agree that you're currently respecting the rules as written.
Yeah, with a little bit of ad hoc thrown in there because you kind of have to in these situations.
Oh yeah,
I also think that like it's possible to get it down to like say 10% of the cost if you have like almost everything you need, and it's just like, okay, you might need like 1 or 2 little things here, but I think for something as great as like enameling, for lack of a better word, your armor, that you need some stuff that'll help like with the process of like liquefying and rehardening and all that.
So a breastplate +1 is a rare item that I like to call blue, but a shield +1 is a uncommon or green.
Yeah.
That requires only 200 gold of material and the equivalent of a CR4 encounter. So I could upgrade my shield, I guess.
Easily.
I don't have a lot of
this
gold
is
left.
This is a case where I would only charge you like the 10% because doing an entire breastplate is really hard. Doing one flat shield.
Well, actually, I already have the shield. That's the point. The shield is part of the material cost invested.
No,
so,
that's what I'm saying. You have the breastplate too, but like getting the enamel all over the armor would be a lot harder than getting it on the shield. So
Yeah, that is.
If it costs you what did you say it was?
They
200?
they they recommend 200 of material value
Yeah, so 20 gold. And then
of,
you take the
scratching.
stuff that you already have, and then
Yeah.
how much time does it take?
Then it says 2 weeks. Now, two work
One
weeks,
1 week, because you already have the
the shield.
shield.
Yeah. So a work week in the crafting chart is 40 hours. 5 days, 8 hours, and then a bit of break time. So you can actually do other things and have a potion brewing on the side and stuff like that.
Yeah, and if you're
Right.
willing to work 10-hour days, you can get that down to 4.
Yeah. In this case, I would be working normal 8 hours on the shield, take a break because I also want to do research in the evening about the other things. Like, what am I discovering with the gargoyle pus? Can I do a potion of turn to stone with that or something like this?
Right.
Or
Now with Jorgen here, he's like laying there dying. You're taking him to Doctor Robert every day, right?
yeah, he said he would change his bandage and look at him. So
Yep.
every
Yep.
day I do that too after
Yep.
my day.
And
So what I'm
do
gonna
you talk
do,
to him after your day of work too? Do you like go there and like tell him like what you're reading and writing and all of that?
uh, I wanted to build a relationship with him. So the first thing I would study is the thing that I told him about the gargoyle infection. I'm doing a study to understand it more. Like I would try to grab a rat on the side of the street and put a bit in a
And
rat and
infect it? Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, literally I
So
would
you
literally,
have like a little cage and you got like 2 rats
yeah,
and you put one of them with the gargoyle infected blood in order to see like what reactions it has and whether you
yeah.
can find anything that reacts to it, etc.
So the goal is, could we find another medicine to automatically cure? You know, if you have a poison that is too intense and you dilute it a lot,
Yeah.
it can make a cure of the same thing.
Yep,
So
yep.
if I could just at one point say, I think I got it, and I throw it in the mouth of Jorgen, half conscious, hoping to just eliminate it in one day, you know,
But
like an
but
antibiotic.
you're talking to him about
Oh
all
yeah,
this
I'm
while you're
talking
doing
to
it.
the doctor. Like all of this, Dr. Roberts, this is what I thought about, and I show him my rats, and I
Oh
invited in
no,
my
I
little.
meant Jorgen.
Oh, I'm talking to Jorgen, and I'm also talking to Dr. Roberts about all
Sure,
of this
sure.
related.
Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts. Yeah, it's just. In fact, yeah,
No. No. Oh my God, that's 3 failures in a row.
yeah. So Jorgen
So
is gonna pass out.
Jorgen, as you're spending the week, doing your thing and all of that, Jorgen, his entire arm has turned to stone, and now half of his chest is stone, and
I mean,
like
it's Gargoyle, he died.
you think he's just gonna petrify and die, and all the rats that you've infected with the gargoyle infection have turned to stone. You got like 6 different rat statues.
All right. So that's that. Um, I will show my findings to Robert, and the little bit of pus that I have left, I will gift it to him. Um, I'm sure he'll feel inspired in different ways. For me, it was gaining knowledge. I got it. And Jorgen, well, he's dead. That's how it is.
Well, not quite, because uh you happen to know that there is possibly one thing that you could do.
Try to do cut away the arm
You
entirely.
you could possibly use a stone to flesh potion on
Yeah,
him in order
yeah,
in order to restore him, but they would be very expensive to make.
yeah, exactly. That would be expensive to make. Check this out. I'm gonna go check the uh, just to make one, a potion. There, it was here. Potion of stone to flesh. It was here. Oh shit. Okay. D&D 5e potion stone to flesh. Usually it is. It says if it's a rare, unrare, whatever. It doesn't say anything.
Well, all we really need to know is what level spell it is, right?
It's a 6th level now. That's flesh to stone. Let's go again. Yeah, it's true. Spell. If we check the spell, it gives us it will give us a CR in the chart. Okay, well, they don't have stone to flesh. They have flesh to stone, but it probably is the same thing.
Same thing in reverse.
Yeah, so it's a 6th level spell and a 6th level spell. Is 8 weeks and 15,000. Yeah, that's 8 weeks of work and 15,000 gold piece.
Well, you can get that down quite a bit right off the bat just by virtue of having all the gargoyle blood and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably experiment with that. It is a 6th level spell. Would I take 2 months? So that makes it actually between rare and very rare.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah. It's getting a little purplish.
Yeah, exactly. So, as hard as it is, I'm broke on the street, and I forfeit that.
Well, you could potentially like indebt yourself to Dr. Roberts and others, Mayor McGunderson, McGulch.
It is against my principles.
Yeah.
But
isn't it against your principles to let a little boy die because you like took him out into a gargoyle infested wood?
Life is harsh, man.
Life is pretty harsh here in Carpathia.
Life is harsh.
Word up to that.
I live in the slums. I tried to make our lives better. He's not my kid. He could have died. He could have become a crackhead. He became a statue. That's how it is. Okay, so he's a stoner anyway. The thing is, I'm gonna let him continue and see if at one point it doesn't have a miraculous save, and I'm gonna do my 5 days of work to make my shield.
Okay.
According to the rules of written, there's no roll for success, but there's a roll, like you said, for you want to give yourself a chance for complications or a final roll to see how much quality it is. So we might do that.
Correct. No complications this time because I've given you enough antagonistic complications with the story without having to throw something more here in.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not pleased with the Constitution rolls that keep being for
Oh really well, yeah, but I mean that's the randomness and
Yeah, exactly. I try to save him. I did my best.
Yeah,
but
and I roll out in the open so that you can see that it's not me making a decision.
Exactly. It's life. Life is like that.
Exactly.
It's a harsh life. I don't feel like a savior. I feel like I did my best. My main focus is retribution for my wife's disappearance.
Yeah.
My fear that she might have been turned undead, that I might eventually have to kill her to save her soul. The anguish that is building up in my subconscious mind is terrible. So that's what I do. So I'm putting this 20 gold into my shield. I have 15 gold pieces left, 1 platinum, and I've got a shield. Now, we just have to do that possible 20 roll on the tinkering that I did.
Yeah. So go ahead and make your crafting roll for finalizing it.
Right, so this one is a dexterity or intelligence since it's about applying it?
Intelligence.
All right. I am proficient, yes, and it is a normal roll. 5. All right, 5.
As I said, that's fine. 90% of everything is just, a variation of passable,
Cool, that's good.
Yeah.
If I go to armor, if I go and right, it's a shield +1.
Yep.
Base AC 3. That will help in combat.
You should be able to here. Let me double check because I don't
Oh
want to
yeah,
tell you the
base
wrong
AC
thing.
2 and magic bonus 1, right?
Magic bonus 1. There you go. Now you got it.
Yeah. Because now it will count as some kind of magical item.
Yeah, it's the crystalline shield.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do say that we can involve our arcana in the fabrication process. We can involve our arcana in the discovery of the method. There's also another thing. If I find a formula, if I have a formula for crafting, some DMs are extremely harsh. If you did not buy a formula, 2,000 gold to the wizard, you don't know how to do it.
You are an alchemist. You not only know a bunch of them already, but like you literally are the guy who invents the new ones.
Exactly. So that's what I say. Okay, so the wizard that sells me the formula, he invented it, and he's a wizard. He uses the same rules of character creation as I do. If he's got the arcana and the scribing tools, and if he's got exactly the proficiencies required to make the formula, I have those proficiencies too. The reason why we buy formulas is when we do not have the tool proficiencies.
Yeah. Like if you're a bard trying to brew a potion, then you need to be taught how to do that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we go into an argument, and there's no point.
Just like you can't scribe a scroll.
Exactly, I cannot scribe a scroll, but I do.
It is what it is.
I am proficient in Arcana. I have the proficiency.
Right.
I'm proficient in alchemy and tinkering. I should be able to use mineral products to coat a shield. I should be able to do that.
Right.
The idea is if we have to pay for formula that is the same price as the item, then have the material in trouble and 2 months for the item itself, it costs more to make the item than to purchase one.
To purchase one. But like
exactly.
But once you have everything you need to make them, then you can start making them at half price.
Yeah, exactly, and then sell and make a commerce out of it. The thing is, in an economy that requires more effort and money to produce one than to purchase one, the guy who made it, how the hell did he get there?
Well, because once you have it, you have to have enough to continue to produce.
Yeah, so exactly. So there's a guy who specializes in that. But at one point, we have to understand the formula is what can I do with the material I have now?
Well,
yeah.
Every formula was invented by someone at some time, and although you're going to have to get to a higher level to like really invent like the bombest stuff, you can do a +1 shield.
Yeah, now I know how to do it. I know one method of doing it, and I might want to do it again, but that's not my point. I don't want to do this and then try to sell it. And I have no more crystalline material. I used everything I had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You took 10 pounds of it, so you
I really grounded the finest in the 10 pounds. There was 1.5 pounds that resulted from the gravitation process of getting the finest of it. Coding it, and then doing all the arcana rituals and stuff to make it magical. Yeah. So, good. I still have zombie brain that is already rotten, so it's preserved a long time. Zombie heart, wolf fangs. But whatever I want to make, I don't have the money for it. I have 15 goals left. Uh, I don't see. I have the little shit scorpion, the Carpathian Mountain scorpions. I would like to just brew a basic antidote with that. There's a list of 8 items that an alchemist can do during a long rest that is extremely minor. It's not even uncommon, it's common and it's non magical. And I just need something to make it. So I would use the Carpathian Mountain Scorpions to brew antidotes for poison. Would you
Oh,
allow it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically let's say that you are able to extract enough venom and all of that from the scorpions that you've killed to make as many potions as you have time left, because Jorgen here, now that he has failed his 3 Constitution saving throws to try and fight off the disease and is slowly turning to stone, now gets his death saving throws. So that's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days,
And he's at 2 and 2.
5 days. So in 5 days, Jorgen is still alive, but like slowly turning to stone still. But like he's no longer unconscious. He's conscious. He's awake. His left arm is just heavy at his side, and
He's gonna turn to stone.
his left side of his body is like really hardened and everything, but he like slowly over the course of the next week is able to like stand and walk with it and like move around, and he's like back to himself again, just without his left arm.
Okay, just tell me more precisely. He lost his left arm, or his left arm is just a stone, but
It's
he's
a
gonna be
stone.
okay.
Yeah.
But he
Well,
himself.
well, well. No, he's not going to be okay. He's slowly turning to stone.
All right, I feed him. I will feed him every day as long as he can still swallow.
Yeah, no, he's like good. He's like up and around and helping you, like grabbing stuff for you, and like slowly he's building up enough strength to be able to handle all the heavy weight of the stone that he's carrying around with that, and like he's actually growing to be very like strong. You notice over the next week, 2 weeks, however long you take to make all your formulas and
Yeah, 2 weeks
antidotes.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 2 weeks. So yeah, you actually see that he's getting kind of like a 6 pack.
All right, I have removed rations for both of us. I have almost none left. I'm gonna go buy more. Of course, that's how it is. Uh, okay. Good.
So I
I'm gonna
can
ask
take off
him.
the dying because he's not like immediately dying now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Jorgen, you understand that maybe this was a bit too intense.
He says, "I don't know. I feel stronger than ever."
Do you think you can fight with that thing?
I don't know. Hand me something.
I will give him a work hammer.
As you give him the hammer, he picks it up and he slams it down on, I don't know what's around. Like, let's say a barrel. You've
There's a
got
bucket, yeah, a barrel, and
Yeah, you got like a barrel over here or something, and he and
yeah.
he he just walks over and he slams it down on the top of it. And at first, you just hear a massive like, boom, and like nothing happens. But like you could feel the air from this.
Yeah, he whacked.
And then all of a sudden, the seal, the metal ring around the barrel, flies off, and all of the planks of the barrel fall down one by one, and the barrel just like disintegrates, and all of the contents of the barrel are like on the ground.
Okay, so you only have one arm, but you hit like a truck. Jurgen, I'm gonna give you a choice I never had. I'm gonna give you a choice. You're slowly turning into a stone, and we cannot afford anything to prevent it. Maybe one day, if you turn into a statue, I'll keep you around, so I can eventually either produce myself or purchase a solution of stone to flesh to bring you back. But until then, you get to choose. You stay here to stay safe, or you follow me and you do your best and help me fight again.
Well, Mr. Heinrich, didn't you say that I'm gonna die anyway?
You're gonna become a statue anyway.
So,
So
so I'm not exactly safe here either, am I?
no, it changes nothing really.
So, so if I die just sitting here doing nothing, or if I die helping you find a cure,
Yeah,
it's the same either way, right?
it's the same either way. You got it.
So so
All right.
if I just sit here, you're still gonna like feed me every day though?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not if you get yourself killed down there like I did.
If I go alone and I don't come back, you're gonna be on your own in this little shed and turn to stone, and that's it. You see the little rats? I show him the 6 little rats that are holding various positions as dying rats or trying to feed rat, trying to escape rat. This is what's gonna happen to you. I made tests, and this is what's going on. We did our best, but your little body couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're gonna follow me, and we're gonna do this together. And at one point,
oh yeah, you know it, Mister.
All right, cool. At
Cool
least I got a better
indeed,
shield.
because now Jorgen effectively has a shield with his left arm that he can use
That's what I imagine. Plus 2 AC.
to block, and he gets a +4 to his strength.
Yeah, because he's now strong. He has no choice to train
he is
over
now
2 weeks.
strong.
Yeah.
Yep, he is now strong,
right.
and he gets +2 to his AC because he has effectively a shield with his left arm.
All right. So for now, forget the little hammer. This is my tinkering kit.
Give me that hammer back. I wanted a hammer. Can I have a club?
I'm gonna try to find you a hammer of your own that is made for combat. That will be more efficient than that specific hammer.
I want a strength weapon. I
Exactly.
have the feeling that if I live, I'm gonna be able to wield a 2-handed weapon in one arm.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, for now, we
you
can
just
afford.
Watch. I'm gonna grow up to be big and strong. I'm gonna be a super useful NPC. Or I'm gonna die right away. I don't know. Don't listen to me, Mister. I'm just a kid.
So we currently can't afford a light hammer, which is 2 gold. Because a war hammer would be 15 gold. That would be great. Actually, we can afford a war hammer, but nothing else.
Well,
that would give.
Well, it just so happens that I know the blacksmith's son from when we were eating at the food shelter together, and
oh yeah,
and so I can talk to him and see if he'd be willing to sell us one for 10 gold pieces if we like agree to assist him sometime down the road.
Actually, that would be a good thing. Let's go and see him.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys, I don't have a blacksmith, shamefully. Shamefully, I do not have a blacksmith set up right now.
Well, this
So,
here on the right looks like a blacksmith. It could be a forge. I mean, anything could look like a blacksmith if you.
where are you looking?
I was looking in the right. Like that could be a blacksmith shop because there's
Oh, I see.
workshops. There, this
Yeah.
could be a fireplace.
Sure, sure,
So I mean,
sure.
you just
Yeah.
need a forge.
Yeah, I mean, we'll use that for now, but it's not
Okay, you'll
perfect.
make one because I would
Yeah.
probably go to the blacksmith
Yeah.
because I'll make offers to him. I'll say I can find a way to make a weapon magical and powerful, but I cannot afford the materials. So I would be there to assist him in crafting an item if he provides the material,
Yeah.
and he
So
would be able to sell it.
so I do have a blacksmith token. I don't know why it's not uploaded, so I'm going to use the peasant for now, but the blacksmith, he's over here pounding away on his anvil.
All
And
right.
and so when you approach, you all you smell is the furnace. Like, have you ever been around melting metal, like aluminum or iron or anything like that?
It smells of coal and metal. It
Yeah.
literally
Yeah,
smells
yeah,
iron.
yeah. You can get the taste of that
Yeah,
metal in
on
your.
your tongue, like the powder in the air. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. I just wanted to know if you knew what it was like, or if I had to try and get really visceral with my description. So,
No,
you,
it's yeah, a forge. It's
yeah,
hot at many feet around,
yeah,
um, and the smell is of coal and iron and magnesium and stuff like
yeah.
when you have a
And,
harsh
and
beer.
and so much so that, like, you can taste it in the air,
Yeah, it's your
especially
mouth.
if you don't have any mask or anything like that on. So,
Yeah,
as you approach, you just hear the clang, 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 the steady rhythm of his hammer against the iron, and then the hiss of whatever he's making being dipped
yeah, the
in.
blowing.
Yeah, yeah. And then he's back to the furnace, and you just hear the bellows and the air and the whooshing of the flames as the furnace is stoked up to its highest temperatures to get the metal malleable again.
I'm
And
just gonna wait for him to notice me.
yeah, he's just setting the scene, and then he'll turn around and notice you.
Yeah.
And sorry. And so he reaches out into the furnace and turns around, and he sees you, and he continues to hammer away, clang, 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 and
Well, I'm
without missing a stroke, he just looks straight at what he's doing and says in a voice so deep and powerful that it's heard over the furnace, over the crackling of the fire, over even the banging of his hammer against the anvil. Well, are you gonna just stand there? Are you gonna tell me what you want?
I want your time for a business proposition that you can't refuse because it's going to put your name around the world as one of the greatest blacksmiths.
He
Do you
doesn't
have a moment for it?
he doesn't even look up, and just starts to put it back into the bucket, and he looks at you as it's cooling, looks you dead in the eyes. This is a man who he doesn't play around. He looks a man in the eyes when he's
I show him my shield.
and he looks at it,
Hit it.
and he appraises it.
Just
Oh,
go
you
ahead and
want you
hit it.
want him to hit it?
Yeah, just freaking hit it. You'll see it.
Just hit it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Come
it's
on,
it's
you know
no.
you want to. And
I
and
mean,
he looks at you like you're crazy for a second, and then instead of the hammer that he had, he reaches under his workshop bench and he pulls out the big hammer.
Yeah, I mean it's magical.
No,
It's
I know.
pretty much unbreakable. So
No, yeah,
I would,
you're not worried about it.
yeah, it's
You're
my sales pitch.
yeah, and I'm just setting the tone here for it that like, okay, you want me to hit it, so he pulls out the big hammer. This is this is the one where he needs his apprentice to hold the metal because he needs two hands to hold this. So that's how big of a hammer it is, because this is a huge hulking man who has seemed to have hit the hammer against the anvil so many times that his arm is the hammer. And,
Yeah,
he is a hulking beast of a man, like a WWE wrestler type of man. And he just takes this big two-handed hammer, and he just walks right up to you, and he pulls it back, and he looks at you,
well,
and
the shield is not on me. I handed it to him, so he can put it like, don't hit me, hit the shield on your
he's
anvil
gonna hit the
or on.
shield. Hey, hold the
Yeah,
shield. Don't be a wimp.
yeah, hold the shield, don't move. Now I want him to hit it on the ground so he can
He's gonna
give his
hit
best.
it. He's gonna hit it on you, or he's not gonna hit it.
All right, I'm holding it.
Yeah, there you go. He ain't the type of man who is gonna like have this be any kind of trick whatsoever. You want to prove to him that this shield is worth his time. He's gonna hit it with his two-handed hammer, and so he pulls his hammer back, and he looks at you dead in the eyes, and he says the first two words that show any sort of empathy or compassion whatsoever. And he says, "You sure?"
Go ahead.
And he just drops the hammer, and the hammer hits the shield so hard that you can feel your arm almost go numb from the shock. You're
Yeah,
fine. You're fine. There's no, negative repercussions here.
yeah,
It,
it's all flavor text. I like it.
okay. Just making sure, because some players are like, "What? I should get a save," and it's like, can I just describe it before you lose your mind? I promise you, you'll like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you're okay, but your arm is just like, oh, you
yeah.
can feel the
I
vibrations going
I'm
all
not
up
a
and down.
strength build. I'm a dex build. Usually, I
Yeah,
use my shield to deflect stuff, not to soak in the
soak
damage.
it up. But
And I
even,
just went, and I
yeah,
make a step back in the process, but he probably will appraise the shield after the hit,
yeah,
and
and
that's what matters.
and you're a skinny guy. He sees that. He sees you're not a
Yeah,
strength build. He sees that you're a nimble guy. But you stood there and took the hit and absorbed it, and you're fine.
yeah.
And the shield is more than fine. But then, if you're okay with this, stop me immediately if you're not. If you kind of flinched just a little, like you held the shield up and turned away. You didn't you weren't looking, so you took the blow, and now your arm is vibrating and it's numb, and you finally look up over the shield, right?
Yeah.
His hammer now has a huge crack going through it, and
I love it.
he's just standing there, like his arm is shaking a little too.
Can
And
I show you something else? I use this. I would like now to show you something else.
okay,
You've heard about magic weapons, right?
yes,
I'm not going to show him where I put the blood from my left forearm because it's still hidden under the shield. But
yeah,
with my rapier, I slide it along just to get a little micro trace.
yeah. Do a sleight of hand. He's gonna have
I'm going to do.
he's gonna have disadvantage on his perception to try and notice, but yeah.
It's okay. I mean, even if he sees.
Yeah, he might notice something, but we'll see. You have a
Yeah,
chance.
check it out.
He's got disadvantage. Yeah, see? No sweat.
So it just goes, and the blade, the stem of my rapier starts to glow.
You just do the
And
radiance? Yeah, no.
I just do the fucking radiance,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And then I say, what do I hit that you're not afraid to lose to get my demo?
And he
Could be a practice dummy.
yeah,
Could be anything.
he points at like a block of wood that was like going to be used for a new stand for another anvil, because he's got like different sized anvils around.
All right. So if it's you're okay losing this in the discovery of, this is the stuff we're gonna do together, if you understand.
Go for it.
And I just go ahead. I just flicker it. Do you want me to do an actual roll of damage?
I want you to do an attack like you're attacking the peasant, because it's the only target here except yourself. And then
All right.
just know that like you can't miss. This is just to like determine like exactly how impressive your display is. It's going to hit. Look at that.
17.
Yeah. So you
the piece that would explode. Whatever.
Yeah, right. You just stab right into it, and as your rapier glows like a hot blade, it cuts through it, and suddenly the wood, like, how like when you're screwing into something that you haven't pre-drilled, how all of a sudden it gets like tight and the wood like starts to expand, and
yeah, exactly. It opens up.
Yeah.
From the punch.
Yeah, and then just bursts into like 7 or 8 large pieces and a bunch of splinters.
Yeah, and that's the kind of wood that he would have placed an anvil on.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll just drop the radiance. I'll just drop it.
Yeah.
By shooting.
Don't forget to take your damage.
I did. Oh, did I?
Yeah.
It was 3 in this case in
There
the
you
roll.
go. Yeah.
So I took it.
Yeah.
All right. I did the roll, but I had not just removed it. Okay.
Hey, did your health bar just drop?
What?
Did your health bar just drop?
The guy says that your health bar just dropped.
We were standing here talking, and all of a sudden that red bar above your head went down a little.
Yeah. Mister, I dramatically need your help, and I'm certain you want mine. Not that you need it, but you will want it. Because if we can collaborate, I'm broke as fuck. You have the contact, you have the forge, the material. If I assist you in crafting items, you will be able to sell them a fortune in higher circles of adventurers.
Ooh.
And I want to share.
Yeah.
And I want secrecy.
What?
I want secrecy.
How are we going to do that?
I mean, you're going to be the forger who does magnificent weapons.
But you just walked in here, so if you're in here helping me, what's to stop somebody else from walking in here and seeing you helping me?
I understand what you're saying. We're going to work together, but there's not a lot of people. I mean, secrecy. I mean, let's just down tune it to discretion. I'm here because I want to study your art. Okay? That's what we'll say. I'm just here as a student because I'm curious.
Sure, whatever you say, mister.
All right? And here's the thing. To do these magical items, we need rare materials, special materials. And for now, I don't know how to say it.
Oh, you mean like this? Well, actually, no. First, I want you to roll a persuasion.
Oh, yeah. My persuasion is absolutely... I mean, what I'm doing right now is
roll it at advantage. Roll it again at advantage. I'm gonna give you a pure advantage. Roll it one time at advantage.
Okay, advantage. Persuasion. Rolled. Prompt. At advantage. 16.
There you go. I don't normally do that kind of stuff with that. Like whatever you roll, you roll. But I wanted you to roll a proper like advantage roll
Okay,
with.
correct. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for that.
yes. So you roll, and he is enticed, and he says, "Oh, like this," and he reaches under a pile of canvas and tarps and other stuff like that, and there's a treasure chest, and he opens it, and and
He's got the material.
inside, well, he doesn't have like everything you could ever want,
Yeah.
but inside he has a couple of like rarer crafting materials. Nothing like super special like mithril. He doesn't
Or
have.
dragon scales.
Yeah, he doesn't have adamantium.
But he probably would
But
have the shells of harder animals to get and, whatever.
yeah,
Maybe
well,
some jewelry.
he has two main things of interest. One, I'm gonna let you like choose. The other one is going to be the skull of a small well, no, not the skull, the shell of a small dragon turtle that is just big enough to make a shield out of.
Yeah, okay. So he was going to make a shield out of that. Well,
Yeah,
I look at the shell. Um,
it's got ridges and spikes. It looks like it could be used as an offensive
all right.
weapon with an offhand attack.
So I'm an arcanist, an alchemist, and I tinker. So if we pool our resource together, first of all, it's going to be twice as fast because when you pool artisans together, it cuts down the time by 2.
Yeah,
Well, if you have 6 artisans, it cuts by 6, but 6 does not fit next to the 4. It would be 2 logically.
right.
I'm sure Jorgen would just give us a D4 on the final roll. Maybe it's as maybe a helper.
Right.
But basically, what I need is for a few months to be able to earn a bit of money just doing my trade, and we can do the rolls and everything. But I need to know. So the first thing he has is like the shell. The second thing, let's say, would be hard iron.
Yeah. Okay.
Cold
So
iron, something
he's
below Mitchell, but cold iron,
yeah.
special
So
steel.
he's going to have a special blend of steel known as black steel. It's something that they use here in Carpathia.
All right.
It is effectively cold iron, and it is
Okay.
just badass looking.
All right. So I tell him, if you use that steel without an arcanist, it makes a very good sword. But if you have an arcanist like me, we will magically enhance it in a process with sigils and rituals and stuff like that. That will give it a magical property. And that means it sells for an incredible price. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to use my when you craft something, I'm going to just summarize a wizard to do something. Let's say a wizard that wants to get to participate to crafting a better armor. He doesn't need to have the carapace of a crab. He needs the spell mage armor.
Right.
It plays with the AC, so it works. It's
Right.
any spell that would be invested. I don't have spells, but what I have is anything fire and anything radiant. I can produce it by using my own blood. That's kind of the thing I do. So if we make a weapon of radiant damage, imagine how much it would sell, and a shield of fire resist. I'm gonna go open with the guy and say I also have wolf fangs that could just be ornaments on the turtle shield. I have, excuse me, but I have preserved zombie brain. I have a vampire head. So if you want to do a vampire bane with the sword, that would be badass,
Yeah.
Although a vampire bane might attract a bit too much attention because I'll let you into a little secret. Vampires exist, and they would learn about.
Oh, I know full well of the dark night creatures that stalk
Yeah,
the Carpathian mountainside.
yeah,
I've seen with my own eyes people disappear off the streets. It's the dark ones, no doubt about it.
good. Well, I do have the preserved head in oil of a vampire, so I'm pretty much sure it exists because inside its mouth has fangs and everything. Um, but if we grind it into a powder, let it dry, grind it into a powder, and I forgot the English word, but mix it with, lace it with the metal as you make it over days and days and everything, and a bit of my blood. I mean, we can do some funky
Imbue?
stuff. What?
Imbue?
Imbue. Do you know what imbuing is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only word I can think of,
yeah, imbue.
imbue.
Lacing is the physical thing, like to lace something into lace a
Yeah.
substance to another. It's like to mix it,
Yeah.
but imbue it with a certain power.
Right.
So we got a lot. We can work with that, and with the money of the first material, we just buy more black steel to produce more and get the wheel going. And
Right.
then you have the special intent thing. I'm the only one who can upgrade your weaponry to magical, and I need money. And I'm sure upgrading your forge to a noble one would be in your books.
Yeah. I I've long dreamed of becoming a legendary blacksmith. Everybody laughed and said it would never happen. That I'd be lucky just to shoe horses and make nails. But I've been practicing. Here, take a look at this. And
All right,
he
I'll try to
reaches
praise.
he reaches uh under some more furs and stuff like that, and he pulls out a weapon. It is a bow that he made. It is not only the most beautiful craftsmanship of Carpathian whitewood, which is just like a really, really pale form
Like
of.
almost ivory or something.
What's that?
It looks like ivory, although it's wood.
Yes. And so it's like a oak, but it's just so white that it's like ivory. And not only is it the most beautiful craftsmanship of this Carpathian whitewood, but he also somehow has incorporated mechanics into it. You can't tell exactly what's going on, but there are like little
Wheel.
rounded wheels and rounded parts. Exactly. It's a
Or you made a
compound.
composite.
He made a composite bow, exactly. And so this thing has the capacity of allowing for a much harder shot than normal. And
Yeah.
so even though it's not technically magical, what it does is it upgrades. It's a longbow, but instead of dealing D8 damage, it deals 1d10 damage.
Oh, okay. So it's not that it uses strength. You still use your dex as a
Yeah,
modifier.
yeah,
Yeah, because bowing should use dex. I don't know why in some games a composite uses strength instead,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
aiming is dex. That's how
Yes,
it is.
yes. So
Well,
so it all it does is it makes it so that you can shoot a harder shot with less strength. That doesn't,
yeah,
equal.
exactly. Because usually a composite bow is supposed to reduce the strength requirement, not
E-
add it.
exactly,
That's how it
exactly,
works. Okay.
exactly. So
I'm an
so
archer myself.
yeah. Oh, are you? Oh, so you know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do archery myself.
Yeah. I had a recurve bow that I used all growing up, and I've never gotten to shoot an actual longbow yet, but I had all kinds of composite bows, obviously. So.
All right. Well, I tell them, well, first of all, now that the introduction has been done about our craft, let me present myself. I'm
Oh,
Henrich
oh,
Cornelius.
yeah. And before you ask, would you like a chance to name this guy since you're going to be stuck with him for quite a while, it seems? I'll name him
Uh,
otherwise. I'm good at coming up with names. Like it's fine.
I mean, you take me by surprise. Um,
It's what I do.
yeah, all right, name him. I mean, okay, now I have to use my own creativity here. His name will be. Um, I was gonna say like Hammersmith something, but that's just the tools he used in this job, so that's not creative enough.
Yes, it is.
Uh,
So his last name is Hammersmith. We got that.
okay, so we got Hammersmith. Um, Roland Hammersmith.
Roland Hammersmith it is.
So Mr. Hammersmith, um, I was in the nobility for a while, and I've been blackballed. I've been thrown out, and I'm on the street again. And I've kind of adopted a kid from the streets here, and he's helping me around. So he'll be about helping us. And the bow, that bow, one day I would like to have one, but not now. Right now, I think what you should do is present this with the assortment of magical weapon and sell it. And to sell it means we're going to have to find buyers. And I cannot find buyers because I'm blacklisted in the noble circles. But I'm sure that if you go to the, a merchant of the higher circle of the center of downtown would receive you. And if you show him the craftsmanship, he would sell it if you can't.
Oh, I'm not selling this.
Well, I'm talking about the sword we could make, or the shield, or or
Well,
any other sword in the
yeah,
future.
we can make a whole bunch of stuff, but this bow here, this is my masterpiece, my life's work. I've
Yeah,
spent
this is yours.
I've spent the last 10 years perfecting the design and testing it. Here, watch this. And he takes an arrow that he has and he pulls the string back and he shoots it into a barrel full of like I don't know what a blacksmith all needs, but like sawdust or something,
Yeah,
like and so he shoots it into a barrel of something like that, and the arrow almost goes all the way to the feathers into the barrel.
yeah, that's pretty impressive. Once the business is going, once the money rolls, I will commission one of those. Uh, I will want one. But first, hey, let's both of us get out of the world of the slums. Let's both of us upgrade our lives, because I've realized that the only thing that is really valuable right now for me is my craftsman skill, my magical craftsman skill. And I'm not a smith, so I can't do shit about that. And I have no money for material, and you have it lying around your shop. You have all tons of it. So
Well,
how about it?
I got plenty of like mundane material, and I got that there, fancy black steel, and well, I also have quite a bit of outstanding debt, you see.
Yeah. Um, I have 6 statue of rats that are very low CR, but I could powdered rats that have been turned to stone by gargoyles. So that's a powder we can put somewhere. I got zombie brain to do undead bangs, weapons against undead. Zombie brains and zombie heart. Well, I mean, I've got a few things. I'm going to throw in everything I got and say, let's work together and let's find out what we can do with this and take time, because I'm broke and we just have to make it roll. And once we have a little money, we invest in more materials, and I can go outside. I can go in the wilderness and hunt for better material and bring them back, so we
Yeah.
can keep the ball rolling. I
Yeah.
can do this. I can get the special material, and then we both craft. Because if he's not proficient in Arcana, being a peasant and all, maybe he would not be. I mean, as a smith, he can do mastercraft stuff, but probably not give magical property to a weapon.
Correct.
All right, so good. That's pretty much what I had to offer you. And you see, I did that shield. I'm not a smith. I cannot do the shield, but I did make it magical and code it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
It's pretty too. Look at all that fancy glittery crystal on there.
yeah, and that rapier is not magical by itself. It's I've been a bit of show off to show you that I could do magical radiant things, um, because it's out of the ordinary. But it's only when I use a weapon that I can do this. Now, if we want to infuse it in a weapon to sell it, we'll need materials, and I'll have to use my own, energy, because I don't want to say blood right away, but he'll find out eventually.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's in my power. So yeah, you see, this is the most genius idea I had. Like, okay, I want to go see a blacksmith, and I'm gonna do a fucking sales pitch, because I tried to go to the south to the mine, can't make money there, can't make money here. It's just too hard right now. I need budget so I can do alchemist fire, so I can do bombs, so I can do, fighting material, have better equipment to face this world, or else it's not going to happen. And that's how it is.
Right, right. No, I get it.
All right. So, well, that's it.
Okay. So, you guys are gonna continue to work on that for some time, and as
I
time,
would even say I will drop my remaining bucks into whatever material he needs to buy, and rations that I need to buy for me and Jorgen.
yeah,
And yeah, just work on stuff just to make it roll.
Jorgen, the more he works with Hammersmith, Hammersmith starts having him, do some of the actual hammering, and you see Jorgen grow from a peasant child into a hulking, like, just teen, but like a teen that like would be tried as an adult just on sight, you know.
Yeah,
And
after weeks and months, yeah.
yeah, and so now he is no longer a simple peasant. He has earned a class. He is an official cohort NPC, and
Cool.
I am thinking his class will be fighter.
Yeah, he would not be barbarian. He would be fighter.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking fighter.
Yeah, simple. And to gain a proficiency in game, it is a tool proficiency like smithing. It is 280 days of work with a master.
Yeah. No, I wasn't worried about that just yet.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just saying, over time, maybe he could gain that, and maybe myself too.
Oh,
if I
yeah,
keep
yeah.
going.
Yeah, over time. But for now,
Yeah.
young Jorgen is now looking more like, Jorgen the Mighty.
Yeah, and he can take or give a beating.
Yeah.
All right. Probably over time, would say to Roland, I would like if we could just make him a normal Warhammer, because seriously, I can't afford it anymore. I've busted. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna remove my platinum and keep 5 gold on me, and that's it. Just in the flavor of, and remove even those silvers.
Yeah.
I'm keeping 5 gold for the principle of I kept a bit of change.
Yeah,
That's
no
it,
problem. And he definitely does hook Jorgen up with a Warhammer.
All right. Warhammer and built-in shield.
Yeah, and he has a built-in shield all the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope it gives us time to eventually find a way. Oh yeah, the hamsters, the rats. I'm gonna keep them because I'm gonna grind them to as a component to make the flesh to stone.
Okay.
Whenever because I used all the
Or
gargoyle blood.
or you could keep them in order to test your flesh to stone.
Oh yeah, I could do that too. Yeah, it's true. When I do the potion, I need to test it to see if they become green and radioactive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't have a formula, so it's going to be experimentation. And that
Exact
means rolls that can fail, like we're
ex-
talking DC 10, 15, whatever, it's,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So at the end of the day, you're going to want test subjects.
yeah.
Okay, so
So this
go
is
ahead. Yeah.
everything, what I just put in there is everything that I brought over time
Right.
to infuse. And every time I would put some of my blood either for radiant or for fire because I have both. Radiant advantage against undead and shit like that, and fire pure fire. Just so Roland would be the one who decides what he makes,
Okay.
and or you could just say we used all
Are
that,
are are you
or,
are you
or, or
are you presenting him with the skull and femur of Frederick von
you know
Liechtenstein?
I just no that thing, the skull and femur of Frederick. This is hidden. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I just copy pasted
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
like
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
without realizing
I
it's
get
in
it.
my
I get it.
private stash.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, this I'm keeping for the day that I'm gonna make my own rare item about something,
yeah.
Yeah,
So what about the vampire head?
yeah. I tell him this is the vampire head. I show it to him at one point. Once our trust is built after a few weeks, I say, "Well, this is the vampire head I talked to you about. It's pretty oily by the time because it's been preserved that way. Um, but this is something that we could just grind and mush and melt into whatever you want to make, like
Yeah.
to make vampire bane, basically a weapon that has
Yeah.
advantage against undead or
So
you know,
so he takes that, and over the course of months, he like goes to work on something special. But during
yeah.
that time, you guys
I
have
don't.
you guys have time to like make
Yeah,
other things like potions, antidotes, etc. So like how much time and or money do you need? Roland Hammersmith will provide some money through his business during this time to like supplement, because I know you're down to 5 gold, but like he
yeah.
will basically pay you and Jorgen 5 gold pieces per week. So, and then also he'll front you like, a month at a time. So like he's paying you a month ahead of time.
All
So,
right. So
so like
with
he'll
that money, I
he'll
can
give
live,
you, yeah.
and I could do 2 alchemist fire per month.
Okay. So during the first month, you make an alchemist fire, or 2 alchemist fire potions.
Yeah.
And do you do any experimentation with them, or do you just make normal alchemist potions?
Um, the first one I do, the two first I do for the first month,
Yep.
I would just keep.
Yep.
That's my basic two.
Yep.
But then every month afterwards, I would try stuff. For example, I would make C4.
Well, what you should do is make one normal one and try one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to tell you what to do. I'm just like, that way you always know that you have like one more alchemist fire, and then
Oh
possibly,
yeah, okay. Yeah, a bit of that enriching powder.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
so I would
minerals
try
and all
one with
that.
the enriching powder, and then I go in a corner in the forest and I just throw it and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so during the second month, you
There's another thing I want to say.
yes.
From the smith, there's all micro little pieces of metal here and there. that
Yes.
are worth nothing more. I would just grab them with a broom and put them in the alchemist fire to put shrapnel into it.
Okay. Well, just that there's no such thing as like scrap metal to a smith. They always like use all the other metal and all that. So like,
Oh yeah, they recuperate. Okay,
yeah.
then not that.
Okay.
I'll take a
You'll
handful of
find, yeah,
nails.
yeah. You'll find some. Oh, the nails are expensive. A
Oh,
nail,
that's true. Huh?
a nail will cost you a copper piece each.
Yeah, in that period of time, nails were super expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, forget that. Yeah, forget that. It's just an alchemist fire that I try to augment with the crystalline enhancers.
Yeah. So what you do is mix in some of the minerals and use your alchemist knowledge to just try to make it more explosive or shrapnel, and you
In
go.
this case, I should make a roll
Yeah, I was I,
because
I was gonna get to that.
oh, okay.
I was gonna say you go to test it and you throw it, and then before I describe what happens, make your roll. So you made your
Certainly.
roll.
Yeah.
And so in this instance, it's nothing like spectacular, but what it does is it changes the fire from a red orange, standard fire to more of a mixture of colors, blue, green, red, yellow. Just it like mixes all of the colors together.
I throw a log in it to see if it seems to consume the wood more aggressively or not.
Yeah, and so as you watch, the fire, burn like alchemist fire does, and as you toss a log into it, that's when you like realize that you were getting drawn into it. It casts a hypnotic pattern spell.
So that would be hypnotic fire.
Yep.
Okay, I have 0 of those. I just want to keep note.
Yep.
Um, so the next time, what we'll do is me and Jorgen will go out for 2 days. We'll go back to that exact cavern, and the only thing we'll do is spend a day scraping off the walls, kill whatever's in our way, and scrape off the walls to carry back to the smith a shit ton of that powder. Well, to the smith and to my own abode, so I
Yeah.
can do more of those enhanced alchemist fires. But that would be another encounter because we've been playing for 3 hours now, 3 hours and 5 minutes or so.
Oh. Oh, are we all? We're a 3-hour session. I'm sorry, I didn't
Is
remember if
it?
we were 3 or 4.
I forgot.
Some
You just
some
said,
some of my campaigns go for 3, some of them go for 4.
you just said this is how much I want for a session, and you never told me how much.
Uh
This is a session. I said yes.
oh, okay. Well, we can discuss that afterwards. I was going to kind of get through a little bit of fast forwarding with you still, if that's
All
okay.
right, let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll
What's
di-
going
we'll
on the
discuss
next
we'll
few
discuss
months?
everything else afterwards. Don't even worry about it
All right.
right now. All right. So
So let's say I'm out of that crystalline because I don't want to abuse. I
yeah,
use
no,
this.
no, no, yeah.
It,
But now it's been 3 months. You have the chance to make another 2 potions, so you have 3 alchemist fires,
yeah,
and now you can make another 2 alchemist fires. You're out of that crystalline.
yeah. So I'm at 5 alchemist fire. That's just useful.
You're just gonna make 2 regular ones. You're not gonna do anything else.
Oh yeah, I could do an experimentation again. You told me to experiment.
Well,
Um,
no, no. I mean, I'm just saying you can.
it's not. You told me. It's I would experiment. What I do is I try to use different household products that cost not much because I can afford more. But I try with more pitch. I want to when I blow it to expand the fire a bit more, like where I throw it, and if it slides around like If you put a bit of vodka and in one to make it a bit more volatile, let's say I put some pitch in another to see if it would uh, stick more. I do a little experimentation like that. And like I said, I want to do some C4, meaning I would, and this is how we call it. Okay, C4. So you put it on a. It's more like a paste. It's an alchemist fire, but with some honey, which burns the sugar, with some tree sap, some mud. It makes a paste that like a plastic. So you put it on a door. You light it with a fuse. It blows up, and then you can see for yourself what is behind the door. That's why I call it C4. And if you want to see for yourself if a window is locked or open, you put some C4, it blows, and now you know the window's open.
Yeah, you do have zombie parts like galore.
Yeah.
You could experiment with some zombie parts.
Yeah, the wolf fangs is not useful for that, but the brain matter. Oh yeah, if I want to do Undead Bane, I would also put my blood. Oh my god, I'm gonna try an alchemist fire with my blood and zombie parts and see what happens.
Which zombie parts? The brain, the heart, or both?
One bit of brain.
One bit of brain. All right.
Yeah.
So you brew up one regular alchemist fire and one zombie brain alchemist fire with your blood in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go to test the next one, you roll for me to be able to describe what happens.
Yeah, if shit happens or good shit happens.
Yeah, good, bad.
And it's
whatever.
a 22.
All right. So you toss this bottle, and as you do so, the fire that comes out of it, if you would even call it that, is completely black and like charcoal gray with like maybe a wisp of deep purple here or there, and it doesn't seem to be burning anything. But then you see all of the plant life around there just wilt and die in like a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius.
It deals necrotic damage.
All right. Does it persist for a minute like an alchemist fire, or it just dies out?
No. Yep.
Okay.
Just like alchemist fire, it just sits there and like quote unquote burns.
All right. So it's a 20-foot necrotic bomb.
No. Just the plants in a 20 feet die because of the necrotic damage. It's still like whatever's standing on it, like for creatures.
Okay, for creatures. Okay, so the 20 feet was flavor dex.
Yeah, just grass that died from the necrotic damage in the area.
So necrotic fire is a zombie brain plus my blood, because my blood, I regen every day. I eat a bit more protein.
Yep.
The hypnotic fire was
crystal
the
minerals.
crystalline.
Yep.
So the crystalline enhancement powder. So now I have 4 normal alchemist fire, 1 hypnotic, 1 necrotic. Hey, I'm gonna bust another experimentation.
Well, you don't have one of each of those because you tested them.
Yeah, I'm at 0 hypnotic fire. You're right. I'm at 0. I just took note in it. You're right. I'm at 0. I did write 0 in my inventory.
Yeah.
Each alchemist fire will be 1 pound. I'm gonna bust another alchemist fire to put my blood in there and a zombie heart.
And a zombie heart?
Yeah, because I want some to remain for Roland to be able to craft stuff.
Sure. Okay. So now another month has passed, and you roll another alchemy check.
And here you go. Give me something. Okay.
Don't worry. It's not a pass-fail kind of thing.
It's a random chart. What the hell happens?
Right. So this time, when you combine the heart of the zombie with the alchemist fire and you throw it, it produces a pure white blaze of fire that casts light like a light spell, and also you don't know this, but like maybe you could sense it, but for DM to player information,
Arcana roll to see if my player gets it.
you can roll Arcana to see if your player gets it. Yes.
17.
Okay. So you understand that this light and the fire, it's like a holy fire type of deal, to where
Oh yeah.
everything in the light is being subjected to essentially a turn undead effect.
All right. I'm gonna call it the holy fire.
Yeah. So like any undead in the light would be affected as if by turn undead.
Cool. So if we encounter zombies, I will kill them and I will do my best to extract them, to extract material from them, so that I can make these. So basically, those variations of alchemist fire are gonna be super useful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's during this time that you see Jorgen just he have you ever seen like Vikings?
Yeah, the movie, the TV show.
Yeah, the guy who plays Bjorn, how he just like grows up to be that hulking kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that blonde guy that was a kid and
Yeah.
now he's like a hunk.
Yeah, that's like Jorgen now. He's just suddenly like swole like Chris Hemsworth, you know.
Yeah,
And he still has the stone arm, and it's still slowly creeping across his chest and down his left leg and all of that. You know, nobody dares ask him how far it's gone. You know, they just leave it alone. So you know, he just shows up every day, just hammering away, and he's ready to go. And it's at that point that two things happen. One is Jorgen reveals that he can now wield a two-handed weapon like a great sword or a maul in one hand.
all right.
And Roland reveals that he had taken the vampire head and dried out all the bone and ground it all down, the teeth, the skull, all the bone, and ground it all down and used it as an alchemical mixture in the as an admixture into the steel, into the black steel of this longsword. Oh wait, what weapon do you use, Heinrich? What's your
I
preferred
use the
weapon?
rapier.
Rapier?
Yeah, 'cause I'm a dex build. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he forged you a rapier. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a rapier, though. He could forge you like a...
Oh, there's a million exotic weapons that are a kind of sword that use dex. It just has the finesse in it, and
Yeah.
you can make one if you want.
Yeah, so for a finesse weapon, um, Carpathia really like favors great swords and all of that, but I guess he could make you like... Yeah, it's just gonna have to be a rapier, but it doesn't look like any rapier you've ever seen, because this is
It could be the rapier stats, but any exotic thing you've
right,
seen anywhere, you give it a name and
right, Right. Yeah, it's all the rapier stats, but instead of looking like a rapier does, how it's super long and thin typically,
Yeah.
this one has a very thick blade going all the way down, and the hilt is just super weighted to counterbalance the weight of the so like it's still as easy to wield as a rapier because of the superior balance of
Oh,
the
it can be a finesse longsword.
right. That's basically what I'm getting at, is that like it's a super thin, like somewhere between a short sword and a long sword. It's not
All right.
it's not quite as long as a longsword, although longsword is a bit of a misnomer, as you probably know anyway. You know, like longsword described many different lengths and widths and all of that of swords. Like,
Yeah,
it,
longsword means pretty much everything.
yeah. So and short sword, like what kind of short sword? The gladius is not the same as like other short swords. So like yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, disregard all of that. We're not going to get sidetracked in a discussion about ancient swords and the accuracy of labeling them. Instead, we're going to focus on the fact that this is a rapier. It's
Hmm.
just like got a really heavy hilt because the blade is extra thick and heavy. And the benefit of that is that instead of dealing piercing damage, which is whatever, this blade deals slashing damage.
Yeah, it's a slashing rapier.
Yes. And,
Cool.
and additionally, he managed to make the black steel flexible like a rapier, but it's still super hard. And so, not only is this a +1 weapon, but with the vampire bones built into it, you can't tell what it is, but it apparently needs attunement.
It needs attunement. Then I
Yes.
will attune. I'll be super grateful to all his work,
Yeah.
and I hope he made some weapons that he can sell.
I mean, I hope you know that you owe me for this. I mean,
Yeah, let's
yeah,
keep working together
yeah. I mean,
and bring you more stuff.
you're not gonna pay me right now because obviously I'm paying you. So the only money you got is the money that like I've been
Yeah,
paying you. So like I understand that you don't have like the 2,500 gold this sword is worth right now, but it's cool. I'll just give it to you for now, and
yeah,
you
cool.
okay?
Yeah, I'm super happy. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's
no
awesome.
no problem. I mean, we're partners, right?
Yeah, we are partners. We have to work
Yeah,
together. And I'm going to
yeah,
use this rapier to go get more materials.
yeah. Go fuck some shit up, homie. and, uh, he's like, I got to stay back here and put the hammer to the metal,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you gotta be off, new materials, new adventures.
Yeah.
So Jorgen says, I'm gonna come with you, and with that, he pulls out his surprise, and it's a second surprise. So now, not only does he have a maul in his right arm, but he straps on. Um, he's got a shoulder piece for his right arm now, with some mail that comes down the arm, like some scale mail that comes down the
Uh-huh.
arm, and then going all across the right side of his body is like half of a breastplate to keep the half of him that isn't stone protected. So now he has basically breastplate, and then he takes a helmet that has been made from black steel, and he puts it on, and he draws it down, and it has the thinnest visor you can imagine, to where he just looks like, I don't know, like uh, Darth Vader, or like
Robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's just got like this blank black face with no expression and just the thin little visor that this hulking man-child is looking out
Yeah.
at you from.
Jorgen, you kick ass, man.
You're
It's
like,
time.
I am so glad I picked Jorgen.
Yeah, I mean, it was just yeah. I mean, the story that built him is kind of strange, and although is going to be useful for him to have a part of him that is stony, I still want to eventually find a solution.
Sure.
Yeah, because
Sure.
I
I
don't
mean,
want to.
that's kind of what you guys are doing, right? Jorgen's like,
Yeah,
that's what we're doing still, right, Mr. Heinrich? And
yeah.
he says it in a child's voice that in no way,
It's
shape, or form matches his
awesome.
body.
Dude, you don't have the voice of your face. You can't speak like that. I'm just kidding, Jorgen.
How am I supposed to speak?
It's okay, Jorgen. You're doing
He
fine.
lifts his mask and he tries to make a mean face, but like
And it's
he
super
still,
cute.
yeah, he still has the Bjorn baby face. So
Yeah,
like even though he's huge, like you still see him as the young Jorgen, and like that's what his face still looks like. So like, he looks ridiculous trying to intimidate you.
cool. We're gonna call you Jorgen the Monster, and you're going to inspire others. Uh, intimidate them and inspire them. But
But
anyway,
but for now, when the mask is down, try not to speak.
yeah, I don't say that. I think it would be funny when this monster arrives and says, "And what do you want now?"
Oh,
I'm gonna
gee,
leave it
Mr.
as it.
Heinrich, I think these guys are itching for a fight.
Exactly. They're gonna think, "Fuck, man, this is an imbecile behind that mask," and they're gonna come and receive the freaking mole in the face.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna be like, all
All
I
right,
do all day is bang metal.
I changed my rapier name to Heavy Rapier for the principal.
Yes.
Gave it a +1 magic bonus, and it requires attunement, so I attune, and I'll
Yes.
discover next time I fight an undead what it does.
Yes. Uh, and so, um, you guys have now been working away and got all of that stuff. And during this time,
Yeah,
Jorgen and you have been researching ways to, like, help him. And that is when you get a valuable piece of information.
yeah.
There apparently was a hero who went down to face the dreaded Medusa and
Uh,
was unfortunately the victim of her petrifying gaze. However, his friends were able to bring him back. They risked the Medusa's lair themselves and stole his statue and brought him back. And after many years, his friends were finally able to unlock the secrets to bringing him back, and he came back as if no time had passed, and was able to live out his life, although his friends died not long after because it had been
yeah. Oh
so
wow.
so long. They were old men, but they saved this legendary hero who survived the Medusa's gaze.
And
And
he probably has a lineage somewhere.
yes, and it just so happens that his descendants live in Carpathia, and so you could potentially go and find out if they still have any knowledge of how this was accomplished.
Yeah, well, by seeing the hand and part of his leg of Jorgen, they might be inspired to help.
Yeah, it's
Might.
possible. It's
Might
possible.
is the key word.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna go knock on the door of the nobility of this city for now. So that's my best option. Learn about the city name and just go there.
Yeah. So you and Jorgen go and get some horses because Roland Hammersmith, obviously like as the blacksmith, he knows the stabler. I don't know what it's called. What somebody who works the stable is called.
How would say the ranch keeper or the
Stable
horse,
master?
the stable? Yeah, the stable master.
I think
I've
it's the
heard that
stable
before.
master. Yeah. So anyway, I'll look that up for future knowledge, but that's how I am. That's how my brain works. It's like, hey, I don't know something. Now I do. So anyway, he knows the stable master, and you
Yeah,
guys are hooked up with some horses, and so you have some riding horses to go and ride through the Carpathian Plains
to go
down,
faster. Yeah,
yeah, down to the old Caledonian Highway, um, and the road will take you, to this place. And so you guys are going to, pack up your things and set out. And as the sun rises on a new day and you are attuned to your sword and you guys are packed up and ready to go, you set off through the plains. And that is where we are going to draw to a close for tonight
yeah.
because you are going to, encounter some new things that I'm going to need some time to set up. So
Of course.
we will pick up.
See, I would say I would take a week to go in the same place we found zombies, roam there in the night just to kill a few and bring back some brains and hearts to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you use your new sword,
Yeah,
okay. So the new sword has a property. It one time per long rest can be activated to become a vampiric blade, and half of all of the damage you deal during the next 10 rounds is brought back to you in the form of health. However, uh, that's it.
however, that's freaking awesome. That's huge.
Yes, in no way, shape, or form should you read anything ominous into the DM saying however and then stopping himself mid sentence and saying that was all.
Yeah. However, I'll find out. It turns
Yeah.
really good.
However, oh wait, no, don't say that. Nothing more to see here, folks. Move along.
Move along exactly. This I will put that in inventory and note. Um, once per long rest. Once per day or once per long rest?
Once per long rest.
Once per long rest.
Yeah, it's like tied to you, like symbiotically.
Yeah.
That's why it has to
Activate
attune to you.
vampiric blade.
Yep. Yeah, you can
Have
call it the vampiric blade.
sucked as life. Not to abuse, keep for the boss, so I can regen a bit while we fight.
Oh, and by the way, you just can sense this just from being attuned to it. Have you tested it now? Have you hit anything with it?
I did not know. I would just say I feel it, but I didn't try it. So we'll keep this as a mystery for the
Okay.
however, and
Yeah.
yeah. So the heavy vampiric rapier. That's my
Yeah, and it deals slashing instead of piercing.
yeah. That's going to be better for a lot of the things like piercing as its limit for everything that has just bones or rock and
Yeah,
so
that's
many
true.
resistance to piercing. So the vampiric rapier, slashing, that's super cool. And I will just say that against zombies, I didn't try.
Yeah.
Did I find a few zombies? Let's say one or
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. You go back into the woods, and
Yeah,
as you're walking through the Carpathian forests, uh, we're going to have to find out next week what you find.
yeah, yeah. My goal will be before we go for the solution, I want to be equipped,
Yep. No,
and
I under.
especially with the zombie hearts, with my radiant blood, the zombie heart to make that holy fire bomb.
Yep.
Freaking awesome.
No, I understand. So
Yeah,
you want to go at night into the Carpathian forest, right?
yeah.
Okay. We will find out next week what you find on Shadows of the Past. Thank you for playing. Thank you anyone for watching, and as always everyone, good gaming.